little bit. Okay, it doesn't count. All right, shut the fuck up, people. No, we are here yet again. It's a Midnight Chat Tag into Saturday night. And I am hyped. I don't know about y'all, but yes, welcome to the show. Ganja Guru, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine, brother. How are you doing? My legs hurt because I was marching around all day. I don't know if you know, but today was Women's Day, so you had a bunch of marches going around the country, and I participated in one. And I regret it evenly because I realized how much of unexercised motherfucker I am because my legs are sore, and I don't want to get up from this chair.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. But you know what? If you stay there all fucking night, I'll keep you there in one spot. So your ass is sore more so than your fucking legs.
Keep me nice and warm. Keep me cuddle at night.
Why are you trying to cover your badge? What is this thing you're working for? I
was holding on to myself, just picturing your warm embrace while you whisper sweet nothings to my ears.
Yes. Nothing.
Alan, you know what they're talking about?
Alan, you want in on this? You want in on this, Alan?
Bird's like, don't do it, man, don't do it. But people, yes, I'm looking over here in the YouTube chat. Everyone's on. Gary Egan saying, yes, now, bitches, let's do this. Chris Brown is saying, it's live. It's alive. I don't know. I think I fucked up the first time. He didn't say it's live. He said it's alive. Okay, I'm sorry. I am a dumbass. But he's saying, yeah, what's up with the outfit, Ganja? I actually like the outfit. The outfit looks nice. Nice little buttons up to the top and everything.
Yeah, man, I'm just wearing a nice little fancy dress outfit with, your constant socialist, emblems on it and whatnot. But you guys ignore that.
Yeah, no, I think it a lot. He's saying, yeah, what marches are happening? Well, obviously, there's a delay in the stream, but he explained that, yeah, he's doing a march for women because he is a woman. If you guys can't tell, we have Kathy Bates on the show. Yeah,
I got to support my show Disjointed and make sure to get free advertising for it. Times have been hard since Kathy Bates, I haven't got a role since TV King days, yo. So help me out.
Oh man, no! Don't make fun of this fucking woman. She needs. She's
been actually in a lot of stuff, dude. So
yeah,
not anything I've seen. So if I don't see her, she's dead.
Well, it's one of those things where she has a star role, but she's always done a lot of cameos. She was in The Office. She's on American Horror Story. She's been on a lot of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, and I was gonna say I was typing in the chat until I heard you start talking, but yeah, for me, I'm right with you. I'm right with you, BBM. I didn't know that there was a Women's Day, and I don't know if I'm sexist for it, but yeah, man. Hopefully, I'm not considered to be a sexist as well.
Oh, not more sexist than the president who said the reason the march happened was to celebrate all the good things he did last year.
Somebody that was there, I can tell you right now, there was very few people that were like, "We love our president."
Wait, why?
I gotta find that tweet, man, because I laughed my ass off.
I ain't gonna lie. It was kind of cool because I got to see a bunch of people come out, support actual cause they believe in, especially, the kind of president we have. It's good that a lot of people came out and actually show support for things like women's rights, equality and all that. But there was a group of rednecks that came out and they had the Donald Trump signs and shit. And they were trying to harass people, but it was hilarious. It was like, you ever seen the movies when they're doing nature documentaries and they have the sharks going through the school of fishes and shit?
Uh-huh.
It was basically the same thing. All the peaceful protesters were just somehow going all around them and shit. And they were just spewing this hateful shit, but no one was noticing it. It was great. It was hilarious. And yeah, I saw a few hardcore communists there. There was the Antifa crowd. They were there, as well as this new thing called Socialist Witches, which is fucking weird.
Socialist witches?
Socialist
witches?
They're
basically witches, right? That believe in socialism. But they think it's the only possible way to accomplish it. And this is what they told me. Is through witchcraft and hexes, because only the power of feminine magic can actually convince the human patriarchy that feminine socialism is the proper way for society.
I gotta be honest with you though, dude. I mean, I don't want to argue with you, but I mean, hey, feminists are social lesbians who divorce witches who kill children. Or I don't know what the fuck is this bullshit. I don't I'm trying to make a joke here, but what the fuck is this?
Slightly stupider than what
How can you make a joke out of that? Socialist witches, that's already a fucking joke, brother.
Damn, man.
Literally, all right, I'm gonna put a curse on you, and here's the Communist Manifesto. How does that work?
Hey, man, like I said, though, by the way, whoa, look at this shit. Witches protect the earth.
oh, that was dumb, bro. That was dumb. They were all dressed up.
This is stupid.
It was great. I loved it. I wish I could take a picture of them, but they told me that taking selfies are a conformist attitude.
Oh wow, Jesus Christ! And by the way, I'm gonna put it like this really quick. My the background, I don't know why, but the weird stripe in the fucking background always bothers me with the browser. So I'm changing that. I know it's not professional to do this shit and make changes during the actual show, but I gotta do it. Anyways, though, aside from the socialism and the fucking marching and things like that, we do have some stories on the side over here. Yeah, exactly. No, and I mean, for me personally, it's like me being not a political person. Luckily, you guys are lucky because if we ever bring this stuff up, I'm gonna rush that shit through. And I know Ganja hates when I do that, but at the same time, I'm gonna.
Hey, it's whatever. We gotta get our show done, brother.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Because hey, if we don't do it, then the witches they're gonna win, man. You know.
I highly doubt that. I won't say that to their faces because they might put a curse on me, but I highly doubt that.
I put a curse
Which will
on
mean
you.
nothing because magic isn't fucking real and you people are crazy.
No, but I mean, I wouldn't say anybody's crazy, but then again, they kind of are.
I'll do it. You're fucking crazy.
See, this man, now he's a leader right there. You guys need to follow Alan Birdman Green Shirt. By the way, have you ever had a green screen or a chroma key screen in the background? You would be invisible, by the way. I'm just saying. Like, holy
I
shit.
don't think I'd want to wear the exact same shade as a fucking green screen behind me.
Exactly, yeah. That'd be the only time we can get into the shirt off him. Or we're doing Flex and Chill, which tonight, yes, we are doing Flex and Chill. And if you guys want to know what those movies are, make sure to, you know, stay tuned towards the end. And then if you guys have any movies that you want to review, let us know, and then we'll bring you guys in. And by coming into the show, I want you to go to our Facebook page. Message either me, either Ganja Guru,
Ooh.
or either, well, he's Alan, but on Facebook it's Ali Shikazine. Shikazine.
Yep. You'll notice it by the picture of my face and a bird.
Yeah.
Check the mic 1, 2, 3. MCA coming to your building on the top of the threes. I fucking wrap this up. Continue the shit.
Check out reality. Sorry.
All right, see, that's why white boy rap was not successful in the 90s. That we gave you a great example.
That shit was amazing. We're not as good as Limp Bizkit, the creative minds of the biscuit.
Yeah, go with that.
Please, for the love
Yeah.
of God, let's move on.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Yeah. No, but people, yes, get into the call by messaging one of us on Facebook personally. We'll bring you in. And then also go to doubletoasted.com. And if you guys have a free account there, because you can get a free account, you don't have to pay for the shit. If you guys message one of us, that's either Ganja Guru, Alan Birdman, or Nick Diaz. Hello. How you doing, mate? Message us. We'll give you a link to get into the fucking Hangouts call. And you need to have a Google Hangouts account to watch and all that good stuff. Make sure your mic's fucking working too, by the way, because if your mic isn't working, I'm going to get rid of you. And it's not really a rule that we have listed, but there are rules that are listed. And Ganja's
You
going to tell you about
damn
those
right, baby.
now.
You damn right. I'm going to drop these rules on you guys like some hotcakes because you guys need to know these rules. I know we've been doing this for like 2.5 years, but sometimes y'all get a little ignorant. Y'all forget the rules on the show. Y'all talk over each other. Y'all do some bullshit. So I'm here to remind you at the beginning of the show so you don't get kicked out the call. For example, rule number 1, guys, newcomers join the call first. We're all about those new, fresh smelling faces people haven't seen in a while. Those people seeing for the first time. So hit us up in the PM boxes on Facebook or on Double Toasted so we get you inside the show. Rule number 2, do not
Rockin'
talk
the bang,
over
bang,
each
baby.
other.
See, I'm Jump the Boogie to the rhythm of the boogie the beat. Hey,
Or drop some hot rhymes on us because it would just probably get us copyrighted because we know you copied that for something else. Ain't nobody got a rhyme book nowadays.
Oh, wait.
Everyone copies other people. Oh, my mind. And please do not skip over the rules because it just ruins audio quality and viewership quality later for the next people that want to see the show. Rule number 3, please no nudity, folks. We got a strict rule about the titty, the dicks, any genital area that you consider the no place. So keep it inside your pants or inside your shirts because we don't want to get kicked off YouTube. So please, no nudity. Rule number 4, do not give anyone else a link. We have a planned show that includes people that comes on for certain topics, certain conversations, or sometimes we just want to bullshit them personally. So you hand out the link, we kick you and their dumbasses for clicking it. Rule number 5, read the rules. And Alan, since Allie girl ain't here to deliver that fine ass line,
Don't be a dick, motherfuckers.
yes, it has returned.
and the bird agrees. The bird agrees.
Don't be a dick, you son of a bitch. Oh, I love that. I don't know why. But yeah, people. So, like I said, get into the call when you guys can, etc. And I love, by the way, I always say this, you know, attack the chat. God damn it, Double Toasted. You guys are just, I don't know what it is. I think the YouTube chat is just a place to be. The Double Toasted chat is just kind of like boop, 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 boop. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to leave it on the YouTube chat. When the Double Toasted chat's doing something interesting, I have both on screen, by the way. And I will go to the other one. But you have to attack the chat. You have to do something that's going to make me click on you. So go at it, y'all. But aside from that, yes, thank you everybody for watching on the YouTube chat and everything. And like I said, we're doing Pixel Picks tonight as well. We're going to be doing some video game talk. If you guys have any movies you guys want to do, make sure to get into the call later. Or video games as well. I'll be taking those as well. But Ganja Guru, my boy. There's a thing that I didn't think that this particular website, this particular company could make this mistake. Please tell me why Rotten Tomatoes is going to declare somebody fucking dead without just doing a little bit of fact checking.
Hey, as we all know, the only motherfuckers that are truthful, non-fake news on the internet is TMZ, because they're most likely killing half of these stars and getting them arrested. I'm more than sure they put the weed inside the bong for Miley Cyrus. Now, Rotten Tomatoes, on the other hand, this is just straight up foolishness. Like, I get it. Like, how many times have you seen like fake websites or there's small clickbaity ones be like, oh, so and so is dead. You click is like they had an accident, they in some kind of condition, legs broken or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, but they killed off a very prominent film director. Not only that, this is like the #1 site for movies. Like, how many times have we been in arguments and conversations where people are like, well, Rotten Tomatoes thought it was good. The critics of Rotten Tomatoes said it was a hype movie. Well, apparently the critics on Rotten Tomatoes don't know when someone's fucking dead or not.
Yeah, and that's a frustrating thing because it's so easy. This is the internet, dude. It's you can figure anything out. If I can figure this out, why the fuck can't y'all?
All right. I can't really get on their ass 100% because recently with the Golden Globes, with me and Allie and Mr. Grits himself were watching it, they brought on Kirk Douglas, and I swear to you, on everything that is holy, Nick, I thought that motherfucker was dead. So when they pulled out this fucking dude that looked like fucking, I think people said he was like Snoke from The Last Jedi, and he's just like holding on to dear life while they're trying to do a presentation, I was like, man, this is... Sometimes I kind of wish those clickbaity titles were real. Like, sometimes a motherfucker got to die because not you end up like this.
But this dude, he made one of the biggest movies of all time, Halloween, man. He's a master of horror. This guy, and oh, by the way, man, me and Gary, right at the same time, he goes, John Carpenter, the master of fucking horror.
Yeah, but okay, I got a question. In the last 15 years, what has John Carpenter done?
And now here comes the pitchforks.
Damn it.
No. I'm not saying this in defense of Rotten Tomatoes because honestly, if you don't know if someone's alive or dead, you don't know how to read a Wikipedia page. But it's one of those things where it's like when people fall out of the limelight, when people fall into obscurity, like Gon just said with whatever the fuck his name was in the Golden Globe, people will forget that these people are alive, and when they don't hear about it, like when he said John Carpenter's dead, I was like, oh shit, he's dead, because to me I was like, is he still alive? I don't remember him being dead. Like, I can get somebody that's writing this that doesn't know how to do their fucking job could easily just write this because it's like, what has he done in the last 20 years? Like,
but when he's done something as good as this, oh, I'll put it like this, my bad, but. This is the thing, and I love this movie, and it's like, you know, they remade this in 2011. Like, there's things that, Rob Zombie, for instance, too, doing fucking Halloween, the remakes 2007, and then 2009 with Halloween 2. When these movies are done and they're all based off John Carpenter's work, his spirit is alive. His name is alive. This is situations where there's money from John Carpenter being pumped right back into the system when these movies are made. So it's just kind of frustrating the fact that, yeah, dude, you can't just fucking pay a little bit of attention. And the thing is, I understand why there was a confusion. The confusion was because of the fact that Wes Craven just died recently. And they probably were like, oh, yeah, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, same era, same time. They're both the same guy. And that's why I hate Rotten Tomatoes sometimes, because they do this shit, not a lot, but sometimes I feel like, okay, like with a big site like this, you guys should fact check, you guys should have, you know, I don't know, more pride in your work and more pride in your reviews and things like that.
Yeah, this is clearly a mistake by a rookie, but at the end of it, it's like I can almost understand where this mistake comes from, because again, like is he directing an upcoming movie? Has he made anything in the last decade and a half? Like, he hasn't really done anything, so I can get where a rookie made a stupid mistake, because it's probably an easier mistake for somebody like, you gotta understand, it's like, I don't think I've ever seen a John Carpenter movie, so it's like, if I didn't know how to, you know, use the internet or didn't have eyes, I could have easily wrote the same article, because it's like, what has he done for me recently?
I mean, he hasn't done much. I mean, I think he wrote an episode of Stranger Things, but I mean,
yeah, and even then, like, who gives a fuck of where it's episodes of television unless you're Kevin Smith, who wrote or who directed an episode of The Flash? Like it's television, or especially even Netflix. Like, a lot of stuff gets really, really obscured. Like, I'm pretty sure this fooled a lot of people until John Carpenter retweeted back.
Yeah, I don't know. And by the way, I love his fucking tweet back, because that's the thing. I'm actually glad you really brought that up, because this fucking dude, he replies back, and he had some humor with it. He says, to Rotten Tomatoes, despite how it appears, I'm actually not dead. And I thought that was really cool.
That is a man that has already accepted he's old as fuck.
Well, yeah, that guy's like 70 plus, so it's like, oh, my favorite part of the fucking article is he's been dead for, like, what was it, 70? He would have been 70 years old now,
or 90 years old.
Yeah, when did they think he died? Like, I would love to have read the article, because I only read the title, but, like, they said would have been 70 now, which implied he died years prior.
Yeah, exactly. And then Another thing too that I really like is Rotten Tomatoes' reason for this. They said, "Sorry for the mix-up earlier. The fog was heavy this morning. Happy 70th birthday."
Fuck does that mean?
Okay, there's only two things that I know that can be applied by that. One, it was either a really foggy day and somehow the humidity fucked with the computer system that put out a tweet that a famous director was killed, Alan. Or two, they were smoking out as some motherfuckers in that Rotten Tomato Studios, and someone was like, "Oh wait, man, I gotta tweet this." Tweeted it, and then like after one sold up after some Cheetos and a nap, they're like, "Oh, we fucked up."
Well, no, I think what it actually was they're trying to make a pun for The Fog, the movie, because there was a fog going on, and he actually directed The Fog. So I think that's probably why.
So that's
okay. What's that movie about?
The fucking killing the director. That was a bad pun and horrible use of it.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I get it. And the movie is about fog. Man, I don't even fucking know. Like the movie, it's pretty bad as far as
I love the movie because it kills everybody at the end.
Oh God, is this like The Mist? Did it come out around the same time as that bullshit?
Yeah. Oh,
Fuck
this
The Mist.
I think
this came out in the 80s. The one you guys are thinking about is the one that's a remake.
I got a question. All right, I might be confusing The Mist with The Fog, but is The Fog the one where it ends where they kill themselves? And you have the one dude who runs out of bullets and he just goes into the mist?
The Mist.
That's The Mist?
Ending,
I love that fucking ending. I love that shit, bro.
That is the worst. I've never been so mad at a movie. I've honestly never yelled so loud at the end of until the end of the fucking Mist. Because at the end of the Mist had it where he killed himself, it would have been fine. But they're like, "Oh man, let's fuck with the audience. Let's make them wait 35 seconds and everything is fine." Fuck you, movie.
No,
Man, no, I love that. That shit just made too much sense because like they don't have no idea what it is. They know people have been getting jacked and whatnot, and the idea is like, yo, I'm just gonna put my family out. I'm gonna do the most humane thing.
Is fine.
That's not what they know. That's the whole point.
But that's my problem. The movie
was not to give up hope, to keep going, to progress forward, Alan, because you don't know about a brighter day.
Okay. Then have the movie kill the main character, or have that. Okay, but the thing is, the movie fucks it up because the movie changes the ending. So this isn't some bullshit based off the book. Either have the main character wander off into nothing, or have the main character die. Don't have this stupid bullshit where everything is fine, and then you have Claire from The Walking Dead giving that look like, "Yeah, bitch, I got my family. What happened to yours?" Man, fuck that movie, man.
Yeah, because guess what? Claire was the survivor.
She's a bullshit.
Claire was a survivor, and I know. And she took the initiative. She actually was an active role in her situation, and because that she survived.
Well,
everyone
she just walked out like minute one and somehow survived.
Damn right, and her whole family survived because of it.
When we've seen like hardened bikers get murdered hard, like by stepping at the front.
Hey man, soccer moms do a lot of shit, bro. You know what the fuck they can deal with.
Claire survives because Claire's a superhero.
Hey man, when they're carrying those toddlers around, they build fucking muscles the size of Hulk, bro. You don't even know it.
I don't give a fuck, man. Fuck that ending, man. That ending ruins that ending ruins a great movie.
I like how right now I actually have a picture of John Carpenter looking at this conversation, realizing you guys stopped talking about him and fucking The Mist. Right here, here's a picture of him playing. What the fuck? First I'm dead, and now this shit.
Hey, John, make it better than like what 4 movies before you die, and then we'll talk about you a little bit.
Hey, John, make a movie that now.
I can't. My dick don't work and my pinky stuck.
Hey man, tell that to the guy that did Mad Max, man. That guy's like 90 and made a fucking movie that's great.
Oh my god, dude, I love this. Like I love this.
Hey, I'm just pissing Gary off. Gary's already mad at me. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what you're saying, but he's not in this thing. But
no, at one point he just says "fuck you, fuck you, Birdman, fuck you, Alice," all that. Yeah, I'll say something else. I've never seen a John Carpenter movie. Fight me.
I'll fight you. You haven't seen a fucking John Carpenter movie? You haven't seen Halloween?
Nope.
You haven't seen The Thing?
Nope.
What the fuck?
I've always wanted to see it. I just never seen it.
We're watching that shit next week. That's gonna be our viewing party. We're gonna watch The Thing and Halloween.
Fuck that. If we're watching a John Carpenter movie, I want to watch Escape from New York.
Oh yeah, it would be a non-fucking horror movie.
Yo, alright.
Yeah, because I don't like horror movies.
Hold on. You say that shit, but I honestly think you would like Escape from New York. Hold on, Gary. Don't crucify him. I'm about to save him right now. But the thing is, I honestly think you'll like it because it's really a stupid action movie, and it's built. It's basically if you drop Solid Snake. Mind you, this is before Metal Gear.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to watch it because
it's Solid Snake running through New York, blowing up gangsters in like an '80s techno kind of weird vibe in it, and I fucking love it, dude. Like the characters are so grimy. Nick, I don't know if you have memories with this film, but my memory with this film is I remember getting up at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning at like the age of 9 or 10. You know, that age where you're not supposed to get up. And I guess my dad was having a hard time sleeping, so he's just watching movies. And I'd get up, I was like, "What you doing, Dad?" He was like, "Man, what you doing up, boy?" "I'm watching movies." "Oh, all right. I'm having a hard time sleeping. Can I watch the movie with you?" And he was watching it was like the first half where they're going like, "Snake Plissken is a dangerous criminal. We need to send him to New York to go get the president's star." It's the first half of the movie. He's like, "Come on, boy, you're going to watch this movie with me. And if it goes too long, you miss school." This is one of my favorite movies. I don't know if I catched him nostalgia tripping or something because he watched it with his dad, but we watched this the whole night. We played it over twice, and I loved it, dude, because it gave me like this sense of like, it was like I never seen The Purge or any of these large scale like crazy riot movies. So the only skill I had with this is like zombies. So when I saw these people like in gangster get like biker outfits going through the streets, knocking people out and shit, huge brawls in the street in New York, and he's just driving through the chaos. And he's got these badass guns, and that eye patch makes him look more of a badass. It really tickled a 12-year-old ganja, man. Like I was so hyped throughout the movie.
Yeah, man, and like I said, like this does make me think of Solid Snake, and I love Solid Snake so much. And his
Yeah, I
so
was
iconic.
inspired. Like
dude, that shot is literally out of fucking Dawn of the Dead, man.
No,
Yeah,
you're
but
right.
like-
Yeah, on the roof, or and then when he gets at the house and he start blowing up or shooting up those fucking apartment complexes. But like, still, man, I don't know. This movie looks a little corny for me, and at the same time, it's like no one really brings this movie up talking about John Carpenter. They bring up The Thing. They bring up In the Mouth of Madness. They bring up fucking all this cool shit. And you want to watch this?
I'm not a fan of horror movies. I've never been a fan of horror movies ever since I was a kid. Like it's one of those things where I just never really got into them at all. Like there's a few things. I'm not sure if Insidious counts as a horror movie, but I really enjoy it. I've seen all of them. I don't think The Purge counts as a horror movie either. But like it's one of those things where I just like when I watch quote unquote traditional horror, I've just never really been a fan of it. To me, I just feel like it gets too repetitive, and I don't really care about the killer just going around murdering a bunch of dudes. Like I don't know, never got me.
But, right now we're talking about that. We're talking about the whole John Carpenter thing. But now it's time to talk about something else that could be somewhat scary. All right? And I like how in the chat, by the way, too, Ganja, you're talking about BBM. His dad used to scare the fuck out of him so he couldn't go to sleep.
Hey, man. Hey, you think your dad's being cool? Nah. He's trying to be like, all right, if I get up and I go hang out with my pops, I have to watch Friday the 13th, 1 through 5. I'm not doing that. I'm trying to go to bed. All right, I ain't got time for that.
But the thing is, you know what's going to be scary for me that I'm going to scare my fucking kid with, dude? I'm gonna scare my kid with this shit.
Don't tell your kids.
Hey, it's White Dingo, the movie.
Yo, Dundee, people. Dundee, the son of a legend, returns home. Oh.
Okay, first of all, was he really a legend? Because
No, he
honestly,
was the fuck not.
Nope.
Okay, all right. Alan, I don't know if you were a fan of the series. Nick, are you a fan of the series?
No, I hate this fucking series.
Pretty good, because after I drink this water, I want to go ham on it. I don't get why people like Crocodile Dundee so much.
I don't know either.
I get the appeal with Steve Irwin because he actually dives in the oceans and shit, swam in the swamps. He damn near fucking tackled eagles in the air and shit to do these nature show.
It's
so
the same thing of why anybody likes Chuck Norris. He just became this culture icon.
Yeah, but Chuck Norris has done some films where he's done karate and he got to fight the legend Bruce Lee. So he's got some credibility with that shit. When it comes to Crocodile Dundee, I think he did what, 1 or 2 movies, maybe 3. And the first one is literally, I think he's a bounty hunter trying to hunt down this guy, and it's just him being like this most macho man from the hick town. Like, let me show you, city folks, what we do down the Australian outback. And it's really just a big kind of fantasy of like, and it does that fantasy of like, what if an Australian big outback man came into the city and tried to lay down old school outback law? Meanwhile, the fucking people in Australia fucking live in Sydney and look like me and Nick now. Yeah. Like nobody looks like that unless you're in the outback. Like at that point, it was a fun movie I get to for that time, but I never really found appeal for it. And I know they're only bringing back this shit to do a sequel because of that fucking running joke that I constantly hear all the time, and that Trey from the Ringside Hangout loves to do all the time as well. Hey, Nick, Alan, you probably heard this joke several thousand fucking 100 times. That's not a knife. This is a knife. And they literally do that one iconic scene in the trailer, and at that point, you busted your load, and I don't know what the fuck to watch this movie.
That's the thing, man. I didn't even hear that shit from Crocodile Dundee. The first time I ever fucking heard that was from The Simpsons, and he's like, "Let's find a knife. This is a knife." And he's pulling a spoon out. He goes, "That's not a knife. That's a spoon." And then he pulls out a knife. "This is a knife. That's a fork." That's the only time I've ever heard that joke, and I laughed my
that's
fucking ass
kinda
off.
funny.
It's so stupid.
That's
fucking hilarious.
I'm glad we're actually getting some vindication inside the chat right now. Just as Aaron's like, the first Crocodile Dundee is a charming but dull as crap. It is only memorable for the lead character and the Aussie heavy vibes, and that's pretty much it. It is just like the out of water thing, and I'm pretty sure that you had, I think, was it Men at Work that was still doing the soundtrack. So you had people still thinking that they were in the world down under and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you're getting. That's what you're getting from the chat. I'm just getting from the chat a bunch of people telling me to fuck off.
Oh, so you gotta look at the YouTube chat now. On the DC chat, they're crucifying, and I would love to
yeah,
that out real quick.
No, but yeah, man. Like I said though in the YouTube chat, a lot of people are making a lot of sense talking about Crocodile Dundee, and I understand it's a charming movie and everything like that. I mean, granted, I don't like it myself, but explain to me why we need this shit.
Well,
I don't
because
fucking
Hollywood's
get
got
it.
to remaking classics, so we got to maybe remake anything that might make money.
This is such fucking horseshit, dude. I'm sorry, I'm not a purist of Crocodile fucking Dundee, but it's
I
like
thought you were when you were yelling at
no.
me about that. I was like, "Oh, Nick's a huge fan of Crocodile Dundee." Okay, I guess so.
no, I ain't that much. I'm not that American. Like fucking, oh cool, fucking stupid little joke. Oh wow, it's so funny to see fucking Chuck Norris and somebody do their fucking. Wait, and that was Chuck Norris, by the way.
I don't think that was Chuck Norris.
No,
Okay,
no,
yeah,
I
you
just
said
brought up
Chuck
Chuck Norris because he's one of those people that he's like one of those people I don't understand what anyone likes because I don't think his movies are particularly
Hey, man.
interesting. I think he's just a joke.
Chuck Norris has the ability to just look
Oh
at
no,
you,
no,
right?
no, no, no! We're
And
not doing
just
Chuck
put
Norris.
his pinky up and break your fucking eye, bro. It is amazing. Hold on, I also heard this about Chuck Norris, man. He has the ability if he
Can I shoot
clenches
him?
his. Hold on, no. If he clenches his butt cheek, Alan, right, your spine somehow cracks. He has the ability to actually use his anal muscles, right, to project energy and ki in your direction that causes a spinal crack. He is a badass motherfucker,
Oh Lord, you are.
and he
fucking-
totally killed that Asian man.
He really did. Yeah, Chuck Norris is great. Look at that.
No, Chuck
He's-
Norris is a joke.
he's so handsome.
He's a stupid fucking joke. And man, I remember watching.
Why is what the fuck that was that Ted Cruz? What the fuck?
I don't know where that came from.
Go back.
Man,
You go
no, I'm
back.
not going back. I don't know. I already
Why
clicked all
the
that
fuck
shit.
is Ted Cruz hanging out with Chuck Norris? There's a lot of questions
Man, just
there,
pay
sir.
attention to Chuck Norris. Look at this. Like he's flying. It's amazing.
No, he isn't. He's falling.
He's
I'm hoping
falling
like
with
Ted Cruz-
style.
I'm hoping Ted Cruz just walks into the frame, just like, "Hey, vote for me next year." Just walks out.
Ted Cruz is never gonna run for anything.
Hey man, he was born in Canada, man. He can't be president. If he does, man, anybody can be president, y'all. Anybody.
Oh yeah.
I'll run for president.
Didn't we just say that last fucking year?
Yeah.
How are we gonna
but
stay for the next
that
40
really-
years till America crashes?
No, but really quick with this guy, Danny McBride. I actually like Danny McBride a lot, and I don't know why he's doing this because he's actually going to be in a new Halloween movie. It's funny that he's kind of linked to all these topics that we're bringing up today. Like he also likes to play Tomb Raider. Ha ha ha. No, I'm just kidding.
That's the
Segue,
thing.
segue,
Like
segue.
you like him, but like every movie I can think of I've ever watched him in, he's always been my least favorite part.
I'm surprised. I mean, because there was a movie that we talked about, and you actually said like, okay, you know what, that movie he was okay in.
Which oh god, I know what you're talking about. Which fucking movie was that?
I can't fucking remember. Either it was
Right.
Tropic Thunder or something like that.
No, because I hated him in Tropic Thunder. Alien Covenant, I keep forgetting he was in. He was awful in 30 Minutes or Less. And that's all the ones off the top of my head I remember. And it's just like I honestly don't want to see this because of Danny McBride. I just don't think he's that funny.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I feel like you should watch This Is the End. I love this character in here. You know.
Oh yeah,
I
I have not seen This Is the End. It just to me just doesn't seem like anything. It's not that appealing to me. I honestly don't watch a lot
Man,
of
I
comedies.
swear to God, Alan gives me that same look when I talk to him, bro.
You know, what the way Seth Rollins.
Not Seth Rollins. That's wrestling, bro.
Oh, shut up.
That was I can't believe
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill, man.
yeah. You had me blanking on that. I kept saying Seth Rollins in my head. I was like, no, stop, don't do that.
Burn it
give him
down.
That look fucking giving him, man. I give him that look all the fucking time. Ganja, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
Listen,
Hey,
man,
Robot.
join the communist approach or whatever the fuck. Like, man. And by the way, too, Jonah Hill, like, you know, out of these guys who have been funny and then they went on to do stupid shit, Danny McBride's stock is actually going up. I really liked him in fucking goddamn Alien Covenant. I thought his character was pretty like serious and he was doing some pretty good shit there. Everyone was expecting, oh man, Alien Covenant's gonna be fucking stupid because of him, and it was stupid but not because of him.
Oh no, he was barely in it. He was the guy with the cowboy hat, and that's the end of his character development.
Which is good. I could have been bad. He could have been doing some goofy shit that wasn't fucking
Yeah,
funny or
but
entertaining at all.
What's better, being bad at your job or being forgettable?
Yeah, Cedric. Jonah Hill as Seth freaking Rollins.
I don't know, Alan. If you look at the double toasted chat, they might be able to give you an opinion on that.
Oh, man.
Oh, no, I'm just talking about all the hate they're giving you right now.
Man, I ain't Jeb Bush, motherfuckers. Lord.
But yeah,
I just picture Nick being the mom talking about, I don't think he should run for president.
but yeah, man, like I said, though, I don't know. I mean, there's really not a whole lot to say about this fucking movie other than the fact that, like, yeah, it was a problem before when they were remaking good movies, and now they're remaking bad movies. Can we just fucking do something different here? And, like, for me personally, yes, he might make this actually good, but it's just, yeah, it's weird that we're even going to this route with the fucking movie. I mean, and plus, you know, they're going to be a bunch of fucking cameos from people from the first movies who no one could probably name right now. I can't name anybody from those fucking things.
Man.
So it's going to be cameos of people you don't even fucking know.
It's going to be Hooker 1 and Hooker 2 from the trailer.
Man,
probably.
They're
there
definitely
are
gonna be
people out
compared.
there that do legitimately like this, and they'll probably enjoy it, but, like, to me, it's harmless because I don't give a fuck, and I'm not going to watch it, so to me, it's a harmless remake. It's not like something where it's like anyone actually cares about it. It seems like, fuck it, why not? At least it's a sequel, not a remake.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, we're doing a sequel to it, and sure.
What about a prequel?
That would make no sense if it says "Son of a Legend returns" because
That's
Hey,
true.
no. The son of the legend is his grandfather, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Now I made the title justable.
You know,
You
I
call
think
me-
I think
I'm
it'd
a
be lot
Hollywood
better.
rider.
It'd be a lot better if he was hunting crocodiles through a video game. Oh! A virtual world. Dwayne Johnson, bro. If you smell what the stupid ass movie ideas are cooking.
Can we have a scene where a hippo kills somebody, bro?
no, we're not
Like,
talking
pretend to be a
about
teenage
Jumanji
girl?
again. We're
My
not
weakness
talking
is
about
cake.
Jumanji again. which has no bearing to the entire movie.
Hey man, I'm like The Rock. My weakness is nothing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, except
OP.
murder.
You know what my weakness is? My weakness, honestly, is Alan hating on shit that could be promising. Just like
Hey,
Jumanji.
I'm not hating on this. I'm just scared, man, because I want this to be good.
Look, right now, like she's looking at the script, like, why does Alan not like this? He doesn't even know what the fuck I'm reading.
No. She's reading the screenplay of Assassin's Creed right now, bro.
Man,
That's what's happening.
Okay, fuck all y'all. I wanted that to be good, and I want this to be good too. But come on, man, it's a video game. Like, how many of these do we need? Like, honestly, the reason I'm upset about this is because Assassin's Creed broke me. After that, I'm like, I can't do this.
Yo.
anymore.
Respect with that fucking movie,
No,
dude.
Nick, you
Because
know.
okay, you gotta understand is me. I'm a huge fan of the Assassin's Creed series, and when I think of a storyline in a game in that game, to me it's in my head it's the easiest fucking thing in the world. Get cool guys in cool outfits to do cool kung fu and assassinating, and then have the story link in with some cool historical stuff. You can do a historical drama and an action movie. Easiest fucking thing in the world.
Shit.
You make your own story. You can do whatever the fuck you want. No, you don't need to have a huge 3-hour exposition. You can easily do it in like an hour and a half. And they fucked it up. If they fucked up the easiest concept for a video game movie ever, what else can they fucking like?
Man, I kind of want to touch on the Assassin's Creed thing a little bit.
Go ahead.
And
I don't.
because I was there when this motherfucker went to go see it, yo. I was literally in the call before he went. I was like, Alan, don't go see that movie, man. Go see something else. I've been hearing bad reviews from a lot of people that I trust, man. I wouldn't go see that movie. I think you're just wasting your time and you're going to get butthurt.
Fuck off.
Oh, God, no, man. And he started naming off the director's a first timer. He might get a chance. I mean, Michael Fassbender's in it, Ganja. Michael Fassbender,
Yeah.
he's a credible actor. We got a chance. Man, he came back, what was it, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Ganja, why?
I was texting them during the movie. I was texting them during the movie because it was just me and like maybe
We
two other
shouldn't pay
people.
attention to the fucking movie. That's why you didn't fucking know if it was good or not.
Oh, trust me, I paid attention. When the first lines of dialogue in the animus are in a different language, I knew this movie was going downhill.
Man, listen. Don't
They
you
had
like...
subtitles. It doesn't make. They completely forgot how the game works, man.
But dude, the urinated fucking color palette, like, is this not amazing? Like, this
He
is great.
texted us
No,
everything else.
the
It
thing
looks
is,
like
okay.
everyone pissed on the screen.
No, like that didn't even. To me, that wasn't the problem. The problem was anything inside the animus was forgettable and convoluted, and also it was all subtitled, which means they forgot the basic premise of the game that the animus translates the language to whoever's using it. So anyone speaking English, like me or you, everything there would be translated to English. It wouldn't be in a different fucking language. So right away they forget a lot of the fucking lore, and they just start making things up. Like all you had to do was make the Matrix in the fucking past. That's all you had to do. And
Yeah.
we should probably actually talk about the actual trailer at hand.
No, we should, but really quick before we even continue to, just to bring up this, because this is the thing that I really hate, and I feel like Tomb Raider's getting a lot of flack for all this. So we're gonna build this up, but like Adrian Blend saying, I caught Assassin's Creed on HBO or one of those channels recently. Tried to watch it, but less than 5 minutes later, I was like, fuck this shit. Zone and Blade is saying, what are your thoughts on them trying to tie in Watch Dogs to Assassin's Creed? We'll get to that a little bit.
They've already tied it in. Like, that's already been a thing established since the first Watch Dogs. Actually, even before the first Watch Dogs, in Assassin's Creed 1, they mentioned Chicago. In Assassin's Creed Black Flag, one of the characters that you interact with goes to Chicago and dies. And in Watch Dogs, you actually kill that person. So they've been directly connected for years now.
Yeah, BBM94 says, Resident Evil 3 on and on. Yes. One thing people talk shit about Resident Evil 2, and it is a bad movie, it's badly acted, etc. But so were the games. And I feel like that Resident Evil 2 is the only movie out of all 6 of them that stood to what somewhat the fucking story of Raccoon City, etc. was. And honestly, like, I go back to Resident Evil 2 Apocalypse a lot. Like, I always shut that movie out when I'm bored and just not doing anything.
I'm right.
Yeah, and yes.
The best parts is Mike Epps. You know, he's driving his car and just starts hitting
10
points,
like,
oh, motherfucker.
Yeah, no, I love it. Then we had the 2 gold fucking Magnums or Desert Eagles, and Red Nemesis comes up. Like, like I love that shit.
Yeah, he had that exact face. I don't remember if he did the teeth thing, but he was just smiling like shit and shit doing his thing, and the clips just fall out.
I know. And then before that, like Nemesis was basically like, yeah, like he's totally not a problem. Then when the gun
threat. 2%, the clips fall out. 0%.
Yeah,
don't
he
waste
ain't shit.
Motherfucker ain't shit. Let's go.
Yeah, and I mean, I know that the chat's, I mean, it's a delay, but I know the chat's going to be like, okay, like, fuck you guys for saying Resident Evil 2.
I kind of don't like that because it made Nemesis less of a badass kind of like this ultimate like horror monster. Mm-hmm. It kind of meant like more of this robotic, like, I just got to kill stars. That's all I got to do. Yeah. So if you're not a stars member, you can literally just ride on Nemesis' back. You won't do nothing.
No, absolutely. Like a fucking T-Rex? Like, what the fuck? Like, he's an arc.
I was thinking more like Hordor, you know, from Game of Thrones when he takes Alan around.
Yeah, but no, and that's the thing. Like, Nemesis was the... I don't even know what the fuck.
I was making a reference to Game of Thrones because, you know, you're our Bran Stark and rest in peace, Hordor.
Oh, yo, I finally... Okay.
Did you just see the future?
No, Jill. No, because I'm watching Supergirl a lot, and there's a character on there that for the life of me keeps looking super familiar, and I can't understand why. It wasn't until I just saw Jill Valentine, I'm like, oh, she reminds me of Jill Valentine from Resident Evil. I've seen all the rest. That's one of them. I think it was Extinction. I've seen all the Resident Evil movies.
I really wish someone caught your reaction, Alan, because it looked like you saw into the future, bro. you were like just looking into the distance and just shook your head like,
and then he was like,
oh,
Resident Evil. No,
that's that shit.
Can we even consider those like video game movies because they're so like absent from the actual game in any lore in any way associated with it? They're just names.
Super Mario Brothers. If you're saying that, then technically
I say the same thing about Mario Brothers. I also don't consider Super Mario Brothers. To me, that's a fucking fever dream. I don't really consider that a video game movie either. Like so like Doom. As much people give shit for it, is really close to the game. Like they have an entire first-person sequence at the end of that movie.
Yeah, no, true. Very, very true. And I like how I was trying to look it up right now, and all I'm seeing is, like, Doom fucking video game stuff. I keep forgetting that there is a new Doom. Like, Jesus. Like,
yeah.
I never thought that was ever going to happen when I was fucking older. But yeah,
Bethesda's like, fuck it. Wait till Bethesda gets the rights to Duke Nukem, man.
Yeah, but aside from that, though, I mean, for me, with this new trailer of Tomb Raider, I think that it's catching the same flat that a lot of the Resident Evil movies got, because the thing is like when you see a couple of bad fucking video game movies, everyone's like, okay, this is the quality, this is the standard that we're going to be sticking to, and I just don't feel like this is going to be the same thing, because this actually is a very movie-filling type thing. Like, granted, the second Lara Croft movie suffered from sequelitis, just like the Indiana Jones movies, and Indiana Jones is fucking terrible in general, in my opinion. I know.
Oh, you didn't like the idea of the man smuggling himself into a refrigerator, blasting off like 40,000 feet in the air, and then landing safely on the dirt and just coming out unharmed? Like you didn't.
That is the dumbest part of that movie. Isn't that sequence? It's the actual right beforehand when it zooms into lead lining.
Yeah.
How about no?
Like,
how about
that'll
this?
make a fucking difference.
The whole thing was aliens, bro.
Yo, I read up on that, man, and George was like, no, we talked to scientists, and scientists told me that I could do it, so I did it. It's like, what scientist were you fucking talking to, Bill Nye?
Man, I'll try now. If he was talking to Alan, he'd tell you can't do shit.
Dude,
well,
no.
yeah, surviving a nuclear explosion through a fridge is probably something you can't do.
No, but like that's the thing though, is like I feel like when Tomb Raider does these things where they're trying to be like Indiana Jones and things like that, it's like, or Uncharted as well. Uncharted is basically Indiana Jones, the video game.
Yeah.
And when these movies are made, or these video games are made from those, it makes sense because it's cinematic in itself. And then you play a game like Uncharted or Metal Gear Solid, and you're basically watching a movie half the fucking time any goddamn ways. So seeing it done in reverse, it's a marriage that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's something that really does pertain to its style of entertainment in general, not just a video game medium or a movie medium. It is the same fucking thing because they're in the same genre.
The thing is, like, with the first, like, okay, so there's two Tomb Raider series. Essentially, you have the original canon, which is like, you know, the one that they did Angelina Jolie for the movie, where it's like the kind of, you know, sultry woman that was like, yeah, I could defend myself, but I'm also going to be a little flirtatious. They kind of ended that series, ended that arc, and they essentially rebooted it with the new Tomb Raider and took way too much. They took a lot of aspects of what made the Uncharted games work, where it's like, they're like, as far as the actual world, where it's like this craziness that happens, a lot of explosions, a lot of you surviving stuff. But the actual character, what I liked about her is she wasn't one of those people that's like, she's kind of a bit preppy, but she also was a fighter. Where it's like she wasn't trying so hard, like, boasting she was a fighter. She was just a person that would survive. She's like, I got to get from here to here. I don't care what's in my fucking way. And you see her grow over the course of the game, where the first time she kills someone, she's almost like in a fucking moment of shock. And then by the end of it, she is like gunning through people just because it takes to get to the end. And you see that grow through the game, and you're growing with the character. And the thing is, the first game is very simple in that aspect. It's a simple survival. It might as well be a horror game because all you are is surviving against an island full of crazies. And I think that the movie is capturing that, but to me, I feel like the movie it might be too, like, I don't think the movie should be joking. I think the movie should be serious, but my biggest fear with this is I'm afraid it's going to be boring. I'm not saying that it should be like, oh, it should be jokey, but like, I'm afraid that the action's not going to be that good, or the movie's not going to be that interesting. Like, that's my biggest fear with this movie. I
mean, I feel the same way, and there's parts here where like the moving video, that the CGI looks fucking awful. Like, that shit's really rough.
Kind of hard to not.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like they're trying to do whatever they can because I'm pretty sure this movie is very, very slow. I'm pretty sure that there's probably a guy going down the fucking forest like, where is she at? Do you hear her? I heard that. Oh, God. Is she? I think she's this way. Let's look at the footsteps. And I feel like that'd be a great way to go with the movie, but it's like, it is Tomb Raider. It's trying to appeal to the video game fucking enthusiast. Yeah. So they had to do crazy shit, and they took the two scenes that are probably ridiculous and made it really short and put it up on screen so we could see it, and it just looks very like, what the fuck? And then one thing too, and you actually watch the trailer and listen to the audio as well, right?
Yeah. No, don't worry, Julian. I listen to the audio this time.
Yeah, no, well, the reason why I'm even bringing this up, actually, is because of the fact that, because the song that they were using was fucking terrible. And I was going to ask Ganja this, because you're a guy who thinks about music with me a lot, too. And I know Alan does, too, and I'm going to ask you as well. But, like, Ganja, when it comes to, like, those songs being remade by the little emo girl of, like, they did Nirvana recently, like, hey now, whatever the fuck. And now, on this song, they're doing I Will Survive.
I got mad.
Man, I heard that the march today. I thought that was cheesy as fuck. I'm mad that you brought that up, that they fucking remade it to make it sound like some Suicide Kit, where it's like, we will survive.
It was, man, I'm mad you made me remember that, man. Because I forgot for a second. I was like, wait, Survivor. Oh, shit. I was listening to that shit, and I didn't really catch it at first because I was paying attention to the movie, and then all I hear is, I'm a survivor. I'm like, am I listening to Destiny's Child right now? No, it's in the song. Oh, you fucking pieces of fucking shit, man.
Dancing Queen, young and sweet.
Man, if they play the Dancing Queen, I think that would have been funnier. I would love to see the emo version of it. You're the Dancing Queen.
I don't know why, but I always picture like this real goth girl with a long fucking like just velvet dress,
just flowing in the fucking wind, like
as pale as possibly can be and shit.
I'm waiting for someone to do a slow version, a sad version of Chop Suey, like, why have you forsaken me?
Sad version of every song, man.
All for the night.
Yo, he does the fucking, y'all look this up. I don't know if it was PETA or it was Greenpeace, but like they did a sad version of Everything Is Awesome.
Cedric's Billie Jean is not love.
Oh man.
I wanted to stop, but now that we're making fun of it, as long as it doesn't make sense with the trailer, I'll accept it.
Yo, back to the
You've been hit by a smooth
criminal.
You just started singing Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I know.
That's my love. Of course, I'm gonna sing Michael Jackson, man.
I was gonna say Dirty Diana, but that sounds already fucking sad.
No, what's the most upbeat song ever? It's the final
Countdown.
To the police.
I'm a genie in a
One of
bottle.
those- Man, one of those hippies chicks swinging in a circle. I saw that. It made no sense to me. Made no sense.
Oh man.
Oh
but
god damn! I can do that
but
shit
anyway.
all fucking day.
we probably can, but bring it
Ambitions
back
of
like
a rider. I'm a straight rider.
Nobody
all
fucks
eyes
with
on
me.
me. Where Brooklyn at?
Oh,
That would work. Where Brooklyn at? Where
and Adrian in the
Brooklyn
chat, she's
at?
like, "Itsy bitsy spider."
This
we
is
have 3 hours.
Isn't she wonderful?
Dude, this is gonna be a 3-hour show. 2.5 of it will just be this segment.
I don't know, Alan. I think you should just spice up your life.
Tell me what you want. Tell me what you want. What you need.
All right, we gotta stop because we're gonna do this all day. Because now Chris Brown wants me to do ass and titties, and I would love to do that.
Ass and titties, ass,
What the fuck's
ass.
the emo version of that?
Nasty dude.
Someone got a slow violin playing, and someone just gets twerking.
Ass and titties.
No, and that's the thing. It's like this fucking trailer is ass, and titties. Cause I gotta tell you, dude, like this shit, like I actually like the trailer. I really do. I mean, it's cool, but
Yeah.
it's like with the music, it takes everything fucking out of it, dude. Like it just squeezes any kind of fucking anything I'm into this with. And they did that with the Gallows as well. Like Gallows is a horror movie that came out like 2 years ago with the
Oh, yeah,
whole
yeah, I
Paranormal
remember that.
Activity thing. And they did a remake of Nirvana. And I was like, ugh, like, it sounds okay, I guess. But when you start hearing that it's Nirvana, you start fucking laughing. It's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
That's the thing, man. Like, to me, like, when that happened, it did bother me, but it didn't really take me out, because, to me, I really don't care. Like, when they do the music in the trailer, it's like, to me, it's like, yeah, I get it, you're just trying to advertise me, whatever, I don't give a fuck. What's the actual visuals? And the thing I'll appreciate about both these two trailers, is they don't spoil a lot of the movie. I still, like, even if someone's played the game, like, I played the game, like, 6 or 7 times, so I could tell you the entire story. Like, I really don't know how they're really going to go about this, because it feels like they're taking aspects from the first game, but a lot of the development seems like they're taking it for the second game as well. That situation where she's listening to her father, that doesn't get brought up in the first game. Her in her mansion is not in the first game. That first game is essentially Castaway if John Wick was Tom Hanks. Like that's what the first thing is. It's you're trapped on this island, you're surrounded by crazy people, murder everyone until you get off it. Oh wait, there's some supernatural stuff that connects everything. Game's over. And it feels like they're focusing on that, but the motivation for her going there is a lot from the second game, and I feel like they're using that to supplement a story. And I like all that stuff. All that stuff looks interesting. My biggest fear is that it's going to be dry. I'm afraid that it's going to be dry and boring, and that's my biggest fear with this.
And this right here scares me. I know it's like it was like 5
Oh, the actual
frames.
puzzles they're doing in this?
Yeah, I was like, listen, dude, this is the one thing that you don't put into the movies. Don't tell me that this bitch is gonna try to figure out ways like, if this goes here, then I need to put it over here.
I actually was wondering if they ever do that, because I was thinking in my head as a kid, like, if I ever wanted to make a Legend of Zelda movie or whatever, a large portion of these games, it's called Tomb Raider.
Ooh.
A large portion of these games is to actually do puzzles and shit. So it's like, I'm sorry, but they have to kind of do it. Like, to me, I'd be a little bit mad if they never did. They never did the
I
other.
wasn't reacting to you, Birdman, but in the
Oh,
chat.
I know, I saw.
I'm kind of glad he brought that up, because wasn't that a controversy with the game? Because he, if y'all don't know or y'all listen to this, Chris Brown said in the YouTube chat, at least they didn't do a slow version of "Rape Me" from Nirvana. And I remember there was a huge controversy for the first Tomb Raider that people were getting like a lot of like sexual assault or rapey vibes from how a lot of her death sequences were. Do you think they're gonna try to keep that kind of same vibe, since you see the movies kind of taking a very serious tone with it?
Honestly, not as bad, because it feels like I was saying, this movie should be a horror movie. It should straight be a horror movie. Like
Right.
it should. Like they're
That's
making
what I'm
it
saying. Do you think they're gonna take that element as well, where it's kind of you got that sexual assault thing hanging over
The thing is that scene, what it is in the game is when you're getting captured, you're essentially she's tied up and she's kind of still like, this is before you even, the first time before you even get a gun, so all you've had is a bow and arrow, and the guy's basically, he's creeping up on her, but like I honestly think people took it out of like, I think people took it too far, because that
Right.
scene, like, he's very like he's brushing up on her, but no different than like somebody would do. Like, I'm trying to think of a movie, but like I don't think it's any. It's just he's just creeping up on her, and then she kind of gets out and literally immediately murders him. So it's like, I think people just took that out of promotion.
There's parts in here too, though.
Oh, come on, dude, nah, son.
Yeah, but then, but like he feels up on her, but like I think people took that way too far out of context. I don't think it was anything more than just like what you saw there. It wasn't anything more than what you saw.
So do you think they're gonna transfer that kind of danger to the film as well, or you think
I want them to? I honestly, legitimately want them to. Like,
really?
One of the things that I loved about the game.
One
of the things I loved about the game is this game. As much problems as it has, it was not afraid to have the main character get hurt. It was not afraid to make the character not sexy. Like, she, obviously is because she's still a beautiful woman, but she is like, she's bleeding. She's getting covered in guts and shit and thrown off mound and dirty. Like, they're not afraid to show her. She's going through some shit. So by the end of it, this isn't like the Megan Fox thing where she's perfectly prim and proper. Like, the end of the game, she is like covered in like all sorts of bullshit. So it's like they never shy away from she's getting hurt, from she's dealing with this kind of stuff that anybody else would be dead in this situation. Like, they never shy away from how strong she is.
Yeah, and I mean, and the death scenes in the game too. Like, I'm trying to find some, but there's some
They're
gruesome
brutal.
shit. Yeah,
ooh, that one gets me every time.
Yeah, and there's some that's just kind of rough, man. And I
think she needs to put some Neosporin on it and take some Robitussin in the morning.
Yeah, she just got impaled through the fucking neck twice.
Robitussin and ibuprofen with some Neosporin.
Yeah, but as people say, the game's a real hard R, and the fact that they're doing a PG-13 of this, it's like I'm doing it because assuming they have a high budget, but like I honestly think they could have. I think they really should have gone rated R. This is one of the few times I think they should have, because it would have given them an excuse to essentially make the main character like essentially ugly and dirtify her, like she's going through some hell. Like, I feel like they're gonna do the Megan Fox syndrome where she's still gonna look prim and proper by the end of it, and it's like you're kind of taking away what to me one of the biggest selling points for the game was when I saw them. Like, oh, you're not. This isn't the old Tomb Raider. You're fucking with her.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I mean, like I said though, it's like. I just hope that no one talks shit about this fucking movie just because it's a new video game movie. Because they did that with fucking what do you call that?
Warcraft?
Warcraft, yeah.
Warcraft's actually pretty good. I've seen it. It's actually a pretty good movie.
And I don't like the movie, but it's like, for what it is, it being like a video game movie for World of Warcraft, like, what were you guys expecting? It was good for what they did. Like, it was very good for what they did, and I don't even like it.
I'll watch it again. I'd watch it again. Like what got me into the movies theater was that Griffin fight scene, and I still liked it in the theater. So I'm like, yeah, like I enjoyed it. It just, to me, people, it was so convoluted. I'm like, no, it isn't. It's a pretty straightforward movie. There's two sides opposing, and then there's a twist at the end where they kind of work together, but the other sides don't realize it's a twist and they start a war. Like, what's convoluted about the movie? Were you guys not paying attention?
Yeah. But, I mean, we're over here, though. It's time for some Pixel Picks. Now, the thing is, I don't have any video game topics for tonight, but the thing is Ganja Guru, you guys played a little something last night, sir.
We play a little something on our good old Facebook page that Nick mentioned in the beginning of the show that we like to also call the Untitled Video Game Show.
Oh, yeah.
It's where me and Alan... Damn it, I'm coughing up some semen. It's where me and Alan actually... Don't think too hard about it. And I think my frog should have human rights, but that's besides the point. Y'all should check out our Facebook page where we do the Untitled Video Game Show, where me, Alan, and of course a few other guests come on, hang out, shoot the shit, and also play some video games. Last night we were playing Dying Light, which is kind of, I think,
Dead Island.
Dead Island? That wasn't the game.
Sorry, Dead by Daylight.
Too many zombies. Too many zombies.
It's not even zombies, Justin, and welcome to the show, brother.
Dude, 2 months of the Dying Light's release, I kept calling it Dead Island.
Hey, man, wow. No, all right, I want to give you a fun story. If you guys watch the Untitled Video Game Show on our Facebook page, which I really appreciate if you guys check it out. We do it every Friday. We aim for 7:30 CST time. If we don't go, wait an hour, because I'm trying to set it up, and I'm just learning to stream this shit, and it's a little harder with video games. But I was teasing the whole time, hey, we're going to play Dead by Daylight, Dead by Daylight. In my head, I was saying Dying Light. So for a whole week, I was entertaining this thought, and I thought Alan actually owned the game. He's like, I don't own the game. Well, I don't either. So we ended up just buying this game for a playthrough, just to have you guys come hang out.
Fucking idiot!
I'm a dumbass. I get it.
I got mad
Dead by
too.
Daylight?
Yes. It was great. I was hilarious.
So mad. I was so mad when he fucking told me that. He didn't say shit. I just assumed that he's like talking about the fucking, Dead by Daylight. I'm like, okay, cool. It wasn't until we about to start the show and he's like, yo, man, I thought we were gonna play Dying Light. It's like, what the fuck, dude? I beat in the game. I have it on my PC. It's downloaded. It's ready to go.
Hey, man, in my head, I was saying Dying Light, but what actually came out was Dead by Daylight. So,
Motherfucker texted to me, you are the worst communicator ever.
Shut up.
You did call the movie last week Paddleton, so I'm not surprised.
Hey,
Paddleton?
Paddleton was a great movie, but that's besides the point, y'all. I don't know about you, but I actually had fun playing this game. Like I was gonna say earlier, it reminds me very heavily of the old Friday the 13th game, and it kind of suffers from the same thing where you kind of do like a lot of these small little things to try to escape the killer. Yeah. Or if you play the killer, you only got a certain set of levels that you can actually do. One thing I would give it has more variations than Friday the 13th because there's more stuff you can do. You could actually try to defeat the guy with weapons, or you could try to solve a puzzle to get everyone out, or you could just try to survive till daylight. You kind of don't get that option with Jason. It's like after a certain point, if you don't survive, you get out or survive, it's over. Yeah. And I feel like this kind of gives you a little bit more variety. We didn't play the Friday 13th because that would cost us an extra $15, and we were trying to refund that shit quickly. And the thing is, I kind of appreciate it, and I think the only thing is, I think Alan didn't really appreciate that much because it still suffers from the multi-trail tropes that you were talking about on the actual Facebook page. If you want to hear.
Yeah, it's one of those things, and like we had a great time actually. Funny the game, like we got a great footage on tape of somebody like I died early. Ganja managed to open the door to escape and escapes. 2 people are running to the gate. The monster sits in front of the fucking door and starts guarding with his fucking axe. One of the guys gets through and has a med pack, but the other guy gets captured. So we're thinking, run, bitch, run, just escape. You're over. Heals herself up, runs back to save her friend, gets the guy out, and they both escape. We were fucking, we cracked bottles, man. Like confetti everywhere was great. But like I remember playing, but honestly through playing that, it's just I could see this game being fun for the first couple of times, like first couple of hours. Oh man, this is so much fun. So many people doing crazy stuff. I can't wait to help out and survive. But honestly, the biggest problem, and Overwatch has the exact same problem of extra levels and extra characters don't add variety to the game. Because at the end of the day, all I'm doing is I'm crouching in some long grass, trying to get a generator to work, trying to get a door open, and escaping. That's the gameplay loop. That's where you have to do the variety. Variety comes in the loop of the gameplay. What they should do is add it so that the situation in which the monster's guarding a group of survivors and you have to try to save them, or do a bunch of different things as opposed to just going around getting generators. I don't care if you do different abilities to make me do the generators. At the end of the day, all I'm doing is opening generators. So as much fun as I had, I could totally imagine myself getting bored about this in like in a week. Where it's just like, oh great, for the 15th time in a row, I've opened a fucking generator.
Yeah, I mean, and that sounds like it would be really fucking boring after a while too. I mean, that's what I don't like about Friday the 13th. And yeah. I mean, even Adrian in the chat right now, she's saying like, yeah, you guys need to play Friday the 13th with Gary. Man, Gary will make any game so fucking scary. Just like, I'm gonna get you, bitch. I'm gonna find you, bitch.
Scary
like,
Gary.
Yeah,
no,
it's scary as shit.
Actually, if you watch us on our playthrough, I actually do Gary's voice for the last match we do, and I'm warning you now, I'm not good at fixing the audio system yet. So if you guys get to that point, please take the headphones out. I don't want to be responsible.
Or just mute it.
And main thing of advice to do is to never live next to Ganja when he's doing any of these podcasts. Like that's
man, probably I can only imagine what my neighbors think when I go full Gary. Because the thing is, it's wintertime, and I like to just run my heater during the day and then turn it off at night, and just leave the window open a little bit. So like anytime I do the Gary voice, they must think I'm fucking losing my mind next door.
Yeah, you should stop that for their sake.
I'm trying to increase it. Like I need to hang out around Gary more so I could get better at the voice. Because last night I was choppy and I didn't like that.
Oh,
God Lord. Damn, man.
I'm the one that has to deal with that shit.
Good luck with that. Anyways, fuck.
I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore, Nick. Can you be the co-host of the Untitled Gaming Show, man?
I'm a crack bird. I'm a hold down. I'm a fuck it.
I can't do this anymore, man.
Your bird's ass is gonna be so sore.
He's gonna be standing over Ganja one day, man, with a knife, going, "I can't do this. I can't do this anymore, man."
I'm just gonna turn around. What's up, Birdman?
Stop calling me motherfucker. No,
you can't destroy me.
I start making it worse. I never die.
But the thing is like as I'm watching the gameplay and everything, though, I want to see like Ganja. Like, what do you feel about this particular game? Do you agree with most of what Alan said?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I was saying earlier, like why I kind of threw it to him was like we agreed a lot with that there was no variation. One thing I said like they should add more DLC, more level variation, and his thing is gameplay. I think a little cosmetic change is a lot more easier to do with video games than it is to go wholehearted and just try to charge another $30 DLC, which is kind of what Alan's advocating. So I think if you do
said that, but
well, that's kind of what it requires for what you're talking about. You're requiring
really. Like
extra variations in game modes, and when do you not see like games do that where they don't kind of make it a DLC feature because they have to change a lot of things in the
I get that, but for me, it's like from the start. Like when I look at something like Battlefield, and I see that the what they do to make gameplay the variety of the gameplay, because it's like you have the 5 or 6 game modes, but what they do within the actual level design and actually make it so that every objective feels like you're playing a completely different game. Like that game has variety at the wazoo, but like something like this, it's so simplistic that adding extra levels, all it'll do is it'll delay the inevitable. It's like a Mass Effect multiplayer. It's just a horde mode. All you're doing is shooting a bunch of dudes in a fucking room. Adding new rooms and adding new characters only basically says, oh, well, I guess we get to play for an extra week. But adding a new game mode and adding a bunch of different game modes will actually, like, that's how you extend gameplay.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and that's, I mean, I guess that's what you get when you pay extra for the game with the DLC. I mean, like what Ganja was saying, but
I mean, I don't think you need to do that. Like, you could easily just kind of have it like as an extra patch into the game. Like, I don't think it takes that much, but whatever.
Yeah, no, I mean, I see
Gary, I'm glad you brought that up. All right, the thing is, for us to do the video game, Untitled Game Show, all that good shit, we need you to kind of have a PC version. And if you don't have a PC version, this is kind of never going to work because, as far as I know, I don't own a PS4. Now, my taxes in the next coming month might say I own 5 of them, but as far as I know, I don't own PS4s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ganja, the level of stuff you confess on this show, I mean, just...
I don't care anymore. The IRS is fucking with me. All right, I have my papers.
Fuck the IRS. I'm going through some shit right now.
Not yet. Next month.
My goodness. No, man. But like I said, though, dude, as far as this shit goes with this game, I mean, I do want to play it really, really badly. But it's just, yeah, like somebody else said in the chat, like they're like, yeah, I'm not going to buy Friday the 13th until it's $30, and I won't buy this until it's 10. You know,
Well,
I know it was 10 recently, but still.
It's what is it right now? $20, 15, $20, and it's like
so not worth it to me. I'm sorry, but fuck this. I mean, it suffers from like the Cuphead situation, where it's like if it was priced smaller, it'd be the best fucking game of the year. But like, you know, you want to sell me half a game for full price? Fuck you. But anyways, yeah, rating wise, like Alan, what would you rate this game, man?
Honestly, I would just like, cause can you rent games anymore?
Yeah.
Not since Blockbuster died. All you guys GameFly.
Yeah, I think you should honestly rent like the equivalent of renting it, which is, you know, buying it and refunding it within whatever. Because honestly, like unless you have a dedicated, like unless there's one of the situations like every time I bought a Call of Duty game where you have at least 2 friends that are basically putting a gun to your head, say we're gonna play this, buy this fucking game. Honestly, if you don't have anyone you know to play this is not worth your time. But if you do have like people that already own it and were willing to play, you'll get you'll get some good time out of it. Like even if you pay, because I paid $20 for it, and I did have some fun with it with Ganja. And I can totally imagine like if the situation where a bunch more of my friends had it and we played this once a week, that you could totally get your money's worth. Like you could easily get your money's worth for this $20-$30 game, no problem. But honestly, know what you're getting into. This is a multiplayer only game. You could play this on your own, but it's not nearly as fun. This is something it's like playing Monopoly. You could play it on your own, but nobody plays Monopoly on their own.
Yeah.
I agree with that sentiment. Yeah, you should definitely play with friends.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, out of stars wise, out of 5, what would you give it?
I give it a 3 out of 5. It was basically basic middle. It was nothing that made me mad. The gameplay was all solid. Like there was no bugs really, and I did have fun when I was playing this. And that's what you get out of video games. Now, if I would continue playing it, I would have the same probably experience as I had with Friday the 13th, no doubt. But that still wouldn't stop me from actually enjoying it. Or like JP saying, Redbox that shit.
Yeah, Redbox that. And I give it the same rating. I only give it a little higher because at the end of the day, it's exclusively designed to be played with your friends. And once you play with your friends, it's an incredible experience. So I go a little bit higher, 3.5, because it's fun as fuck.
Penis. Oh.
I like it. But yeah, that's Death by
Piece of
Daylight.
Shit.
Death by
How
Daylight.
do we work together on a fucking weekly basis, man?
I don't know, man. We work like 4 days out of the week, man. Fucking construction workers don't see each other even that much.
He's like, man, fuck you. But Justin, man, you you said that you were playing some video games lately, sir.
In fact, I'm playing the one I'm talking about right now, so I'm all freshed up and ready.
Nice.
This is the epic, very Japanesey, very awesome game, Persona 5.
Oh, snippety snap, yeah. So
I never saw it coming.
That's only one thing I'm going to get out of the hand. They need to vary up the music a little bit because I've played so many battles in this game. It's that same song except for the boss battles. It's like, you never see it coming.
Wait, seriously? They play that all?
Oh yeah.
God,
at least okay. I'm only into the first like 2 sections, and so far during the common battle sequences, yeah, that's the only song they play. I'm like, please, two more songs would have made this a lot better.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get it. They're trying to thematically tie a song to a certain type of scenario. But aside from that, again, I'm only so far into the game because this game is 150 billion hours long.
Yeah.
But it's amazing. It is really one of the best RPG games I have played in a long, long time. And especially because it just grabs you right off the bat with the main story of the game. So for people who don't know the basic plot, you play as nameless protagonist. You pick a name. My guy's name is Justin, of course. So yeah, it's weird to watch like, Justin, you're a criminal, that kind of stuff. Because you start off getting sued for something where you tried to stop a guy from sexually assaulting somebody, and you get blamed for the crime. And so you're serving probation while living at a coffee shop with some cantankerous dude. I don't know how the Japanese justice system works, but I don't think it works that way. But anyway, you start to become aware of this thing where it's some kind of like cognitive distortion thing where there's a demonic world that exists in the warped realities of people. And the more evil a person is, they form these palaces that distort time and space around them. So your job is to, as kind of these, thieves of the heart thing, where you go into, to pretty much cure the person of their evils, their evil desires and their sins.
So you're playing Japanese Jesus.
Kind of, in a way. Like, it's this weird, like, the noble bandit thing where you're like, the first section of the game is to stop a gym teacher who's physically and somewhat sexually abusing the students that he's working with. And you're like, yeah, and there's still some of that, to be fair, what we just saw.
What's anime without a little TNA, Justin?
Yeah,
it's a little weird when it's a 17-year-old, but
whatever. It's Japan. I might as well be an adult.
And knowing, I looked up ahead some of the romance options. You can actually romance teachers in the game too, so it's like,
Sangaja might be buying this game.
Yeah,
graphics like that. I've seen a lot of this stuff, and honestly, like my friend described it to me as an anime turn-playing game, and I'm like, you couldn't have sold me worse on that, because that's two things I hate more than anything: anime games and turn-play games.
Saying that it's a turn-based role-play game, it's still fun mechanics. Like they give you when you say that games are not worth the price of admission kind of thing. This is a game where paying $60 actually feels cheap because they give you so much game in this game. Like literally, you could play all kinds of different mechanics of gameplay. You can play all kinds of story stuff. It's just there's so much that they packed into this, and even like tons and tons of routes you can go. Like no two gameplays will ever be the same unless you use the guide like I do. But and one thing I would say too that biggest praise. This game is gorgeous. Just that whole art design of this like. I think they say it's acid jazz, the style of the art.
Okay, acid jazz? Okay, I like that.
They just made that up, man.
No, that is actually a term.
No, they made that shit up like blast processing.
No, but the art design is amazing. It's very red, white, heavy, and it's got this great visual aesthetic to it that really works. It does all those automatopoeias when actions happen. It's good voice acting for a Japanese English dub. Overall, I mean, it's about as anime as you can get. But if you like anime, this is a better anime.
If you don't like,
it's just no. If you're open-minded like good people, then you can give it a shot and see how.
Open-minded is just another word for being open to crap.
But you don't know if it's crap until you've actually seen it. Now.
Yeah, but I also don't know crap tastes like shit until I hate it. But I'm pretty sure I can guess.
But yeah, so I mean, and that's the thing. Again, this is a game for the patient. Also is that Persona has a history of being part giant, crazy RPG game and part social life simulator. So in between all the battles and that stuff, you go to school, you get a part-time job, you build social relationships with people. It's interesting because that's also what affects your stats when you play the role-play game. So it's like, okay, I can see people just going crazy over like, okay, do I go to school this day? Do I do my job this day? Do I drink the juice that's on sale that gives me a +2 here? Or do I do this on this day?
Dude, you're selling me on this game so fucking much right now. Like, I feel like I want to buy this shit tomorrow.
Like Fable and Fable made by Japan.
Yeah.
No, this game is great, man. It's so fun. And it's really moving, too. Like, it's funny. It's dramatic. Yes, it's got plenty of the hot ladies, too, in it. But it's never lurid with it. You know what I mean? Like other than a few poses, it's really it's kind of an SJW game almost, in the idea that, like, these guys are trying to fix society and right the wrongs and out people who are abusing power against women and children and other people and men. This game was
called Us Two.
I know. I was thinking, like, oh my gosh, this game came out way too early, because if it had come out during the fall, it would have been bought by everybody. Everyone would have played this game.
No, man, you say that, but like outside of Japan, like getting this game is ridiculous. I have a buddy of mine that's still waiting for a physical copy of this game, because this game fucking, like, they barely sell it outside of fucking.
To be fair, I bought like the last copy on sale when I would go to the GameStop. But dude, it is totally worth it. If you can find it, get it on Amazon or whatever. This game is a high buy. Go out and play it. Again, with the caveat, if you're not patient, this game is not for you. If you're only going to play it once, use the guide. There's a guide on Eurogamer and one other site. Use the guide if you're only going to play this game once, because you'll get the most out of it. That way.
Or you can play the game like a normal person, enjoy your life, and then if you want to play it again, you can continue.
No, the good thing, though, is that New Game Plus actually does add a lot of stuff, where you get to keep all your stats and a bunch of other new gimmicks that they give you. So
and
there's actually a reason to play.
Yeah, no, I love New Game Plus. When like even Resident Evil 4, when that shit happens, like after I beat the game, I'm not making another fucking file. Fuck that shit. Like I'll stick with my infinite ammo and my fucking all that bullshit that I get.
I like New Game Plus, but honestly, sometimes I just like replaying through the game. Like New Game Plus, like, is okay, but sometimes just give me a bigger difficulty or just give me a bonus. But like, I'm okay with replaying the entire game again.
Yeah, I mean, when the game's good enough, then I totally see your point. Yeah. But yeah, once again, like, out of stars wise, man, like, what would you give this game again?
Oh, I mean, again, I'm only maybe a 10th or a 9th into the game, but so far I'm going to reserve on a full star rating, but so far it's 5 out of 5 and just pure enjoyment factor. I'm like, it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of payoff too in that sense. So, and I'm really digging it. So.
Yeah, man, and this shit, like I said, dude, it looks badass. I cannot wait to fucking play this. Everyone in the chat was telling me, dude, play it, Nick, play it. And then one guy was like, Nick's a piece of shit, which you're very right. I am a piece of shit.
Man, you need to go to the fucking Double Toasted chat right now.
Yeah, they're killing me as usual because apparently I
love this. I love this. Just keep scrolling up, Nick. If you go to the Double Toasted chat room, there's literally like all these memes and gifs of Alan so-called not loving fun.
Oh, man, I can't even see anything.
Oh no, it died.
Yeah, it died on my end.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, because on my end it's just like, yeah, Cedric and a bunch of people saying I don't like fun. It's like, I like fun. I just don't like your fun.
Oh man, we're going to do the chat a different way this time around, folks, just because of I don't know what the fuck's happening with this. But I'm going to show it really quick. I'm sorry, I know the show's stopping for a second, but here we go. Web page, here we go, and we'll just... Damn it. What the fuck?
And if you guys got to make sure to check our sister website, doubletoast.com.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, I will say this too. That cat character there in the chat is probably the single best character in the whole game with your party members.
Well, according to Skull, that's a dumbass cat. And why do you hate fun, Alan? Like, why you
I like fun.
Why you trample over good times?
I'm with the kids and the hip and the hop and all that stuff.
Yeah, and but yeah, well, someone just said this up here.
Old man Alan over there, he don't like no fun no more.
Actually, I'm glad Marcus Kilgore brought that up inside the chat room. I don't know if you can scroll down, but he mentions if anyone has watched what is it called? Devilman's Crybaby?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nick, have you seen it?
Yes, I have, and I love this movie.
He loves it.
And that's the thing, because it's that time, son.
Oh, did I do a good segue?
Oh, look at that segue.
Not when you call it out immediately. Not when you call it out immediately.
I got happy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, I understand him being happy. I was happy too. God damn.
Like it was like when someone doing a race.
Oh, what the fuck happened here?
It's like when someone's racing, they just finally get to the end of the line and they do that one little pirouette and they kind of fuck up and they fall.
Hey,
they still won,
looking good,
but
baby.
they fall and they kind of shit on their victory.
I don't know if I'm from over here with Justin and everything. No,
I saw that. I was keeping the people entertained with my voice as you did that.
Yeah, no, and your voice is very entertaining. I like your voice. I like your voice.
Your voice with my face. That's pure entertainment.
Actually, one of these days we're gonna do that. We're gonna have fucking Justin talk, and then, or he's gonna move his mouth, and God's gonna talk for him. It's like,
yeah, I'll just do this, like and it's just like, hey.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
Holy shit!
He's got a new red shirt. And this
No,
looks
this is a placeholder shirt until I actually get
Did you steal that from your dad?
No, I owned it. I've had this for like years.
That's what I imagine like an office worker wears for like the holidays when he wants to be like in the mood.
Yeah,
It's Casual Fridays The Office in MCA. So.
Actually, Alan, you're hired already, dude. You don't have to dress up like it's a fucking job interview. Like,
Hey, it's not bad. Nah, I'll do anything.
I mean, he's really trying to get that promotion. I don't know where he's gonna get promoted to. He's already a host, but he's trying to get it.
he's like, I want to be as stressed as Nick. That's what I want to do. But no, man, and you don't want that. But yeah, people, it's Flex and Chill. We are here, and if you guys didn't see before, voila, Flex and Chill, and we are chilling. We are chilling because it's Flex and Chill. I have no idea where to move on from this. I'm stuck on this joke.
Move on to a movie.
Does Alan?
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Shark wants to know if you work at Target.
Man!
Oh,
Target wishes I worked there, man.
that's
I doubt that.
hilarious.
No, I doubt that, Alan, because you would just tell people, no, don't buy that. That's terrible. No, don't buy this movie.
Yeah,
It sucks."
exactly.
Wait, you know I work at a store that I sell things to people, right? I do have a job.
Every
But
time
they
he
work
buys
at a movie store. That's what I'm
Every
saying.
time he goes to buy something that's trash, he just looks at him and is like, "No, you don't want that."
Nah, I do the opposite, man. Like, is this good? Like, yeah, it's great, man. Half price.
So
I would
Why
love
do
for
you
you.
keep recommending Warcraft?
I would love for you to work at Kmart. I don't know if anybody remembers Kmart. I know they're all
I
dead
love
and
the fuck
dying.
out of Kmart, man.
But like, I
That
could see
makes sense.
Alan working in the animal section of Kmart with the exotic pets, feeding the birds and shit.
I know they won't. They're trying to tell him to go, and he won't leave.
We fired him 2 months ago. He's still hanging out with the birds.
No, but people know. So right away, I'm just gonna put this out there as soon as I possibly can because it's gonna be short. I have not too much to say
That's what she
because.
said.
Oh, that's fucking funny, isn't it? God damn it! Fuck that red shirt.
I got 2 movies too, so go ahead. It'll be short.
Yeah, no, but like my thing is, no, it's Devilman Crybaby. This fucking show is really, really good. I will say, I had a great fucking time watching this. I've been watching a lot of anime lately. This thing, and I was trying not to spoil, but like even this shit on screen is spoiling you like so much. I just saw 5
Yeah,
spoilers.
it's out of context, though.
Yeah, but the thing is, with this show, the one thing I hate about it, and I know that it's something that Ganja, you are gonna get pissed off about, but they just suffer from complete anime, like just anime isms, where it's like people just walk around, they you know, there's some fan service there and there. There's a lot of stupid, like, you know, it takes place in high school yet again, you know, like every fucking anime has to take place in high school.
Pretty much.
You know, fucking annoying. Weird sexual tensions that could be incestual. You don't know yet. You know, the whole fucking thing.
When Allie shows up.
Yeah, exactly. And I hate that. And you know, it's odd. And there's a lot of things that don't make sense. But the movie, I keep saying movie, but the show, it makes it worth. It's worth it because when you get so bored of the same old anime bullshit, they do things. And I'm gonna show this again. But they do some crazy shit where they just start, like, he turns in, this guy, I'm not going to say what character it was, but turns into a devil. It's called Devilman Crybaby. I don't understand the Crybaby part. He does cry, but whatever. But, yeah, it's like a superhero. He turns into Devilman, and he just goes around killing other demons and other devils and shit like that. But the thing is, like, on top of him killing all these devils and demons, you know that he's a good guy, but good guys need a reason to continue on, especially when, like, you're a devil. You need to eat other people. You need to fuck other people. You need to suppress your evil ways by doing evil shit.
Sure.
And
I hate to let y'all know, but right now I've always had Satan in my heart, and this is why I do all the shit that I do. I'm trying to save the world, y'all. I do the debauchery for the world.
no, and it's cool
So
because
this sounds kind of like a Tokyo Ghoul, the way you describe it. But like, what's
Yeah.
yeah.
Go
'cause
ahead.
This character, Akira, by the way, like he starts off the movie or the show. Goddamn, I'm gonna have that trouble the whole time. But like this show, he starts off like a little pimp squeak, little fucking tiny little kid. You know, not he's scrawny, he's not tough, he's not fast. Everybody in this movie, all the characters are runners who are competing in like this race thing for the fucking school. And this dude is always in last place. He sucks. No one wants to fuck him, etc. And somehow, and they don't even tell you how. Even at the end of the show, they don't tell you how he gets this devil power inside of him. And he just transforms. He gets a 6-pack. You know, the bitches like him. You know, he's walking around. There's even a scene where he watches a big-ass porno on a big screen and some fucking this weird room where, I mean, I don't know if they had movie theaters in fucking high schools. But it's like the girls are just crazy for him because he just, you know, emits this amazing fucking spirit. He's just so sexy. But he doesn't use it. You know what I mean? And he has this hunger to fuck and to eat, but he never uses it. And he just gets all this horrible shit that his body is wanting to do and to make him do because he is a devil, and he's using it for good. And I actually like that. I like when, even like Hancock with Will Smith. I like how he's a piece of shit, but it leads him to do good things at the end. I don't know. I like that about certain characters. So yeah, like I said, this show, like it's not a lot I can say because anything I'll say right now is gonna spoil the whole fucking thing. Even the trailer, I can't even show much of the trailer. But I really, really recommend this fucking show. There's many animes I've been watching lately, and this is up there with one of the best of them. But the problem is there's gonna be so much about the show that you're gonna find really fucking boring. So if I were you, just don't quit until you get to episode 3. That's all I'm gonna say. Once you get to episode 3, you're gonna fucking like this show a lot. And it's only 10 episodes, which I didn't think that this was gonna be a small amount of episodes. I thought it was gonna be 12 at least. But it's short. Yeah, watch this shit. I dig it a lot. And Ganja, you're gonna watch this shit, and so is you, Alan, because
I
hate to spoil it for you already, but me and Birdman watched this piece of shit already.
Wait, you watched it with us?
I was there, baby. I was there.
I don't remember that shit.
I was in the back.
Wait, you watched this?
I watched this.
Me and 90s were there. I don't remember Ganja being there.
I just want to know why they ruined a good rave sex club, bro. Like everyone was getting head, everyone was fucking, everyone was doing drugs, and y'all just had to turn to this debauchery, summoning demon bullshit.
Why didn't you tell me you watched this?
Because I wanted to wait to surprise you on the show. Because unlike Anthony, I actually surprised you and could keep on the conversation about the topic and don't scare you into it. But my point still stands. The show went fucking bonkers towards the end, dude, and I don't know why. Like, I get the idea you're supposed to build up this huge mass of sin, but like the way they do it is so contrived, and I don't get what the fascination is with vagina monsters in Japan. Maybe that's why their population is so low, because they fear tongues and teeth inside the vagina. But like, I only liked certain season and I thought the animation in the club before it turned into hypersexuality shit. It was actually cool because it actually looked like a real rave and stuff like that. And I like what they did with the background and stuff like that. But honestly, man, it didn't grab my attention, and it felt really like almost every other anime we used to watch on anime night. And the only one I've seen do these grotesque things properly is what Tokyo Parasite.
Yeah. He means Tokyo Ghoul, but I kind of agree with Ganja. Like, it's one of those things where we finished watching another anime. It's called Violet Evergarden. And when I was watching it, like, I still don't have an opinion on it because it's just like, oh, this anime's kind of weird. I don't know much about it. They're like, hey, Devilman Crybaby's on Netflix. Let's watch it. And within, like, minutes, me and I just look at each other going, man, are you bored? Like, yeah, I'm bored too. So it's like, yeah, let's keep going. And it's one of those things where I can't say there's anything bad about the show because, honestly, I was so bored by everything that was going on. I didn't care about anything that was going on with the main characters. I didn't care about anything going on with the world. The only thing that mildly interested me was, oh, they're going hardcore with the nudity in this. Okay, whatever.
And they continue
then when the stuff
there's some stuff that happens that's like, oh, fuck, why? Holy shit. Like, I mean, it gets...
Oh,
but the thing is, it's like, when the whole gore stuff happens, and I figured, that's why I kind of like it, because it reminds me of horror movie stuff. When the gore happens, I was like, oh, people are being turned apart. Okay, people are dying. Okay. I guess things are happening. I mean, they're happening because of something and reasons that are explained, I guess. But at that point, the show's already lost me because there's just nothing interesting. It moved way too fast, and I barely got a handle of anything that was going on. I'm not one of those people that harks on animation. The animation is different. I didn't really care about it, but I just had nothing to tie me to the character, nothing to tie me to the world. And then when the crazy stuff starts happening, it's almost like a situation with Moe where I'm too far gone that even any of this weird stuff to me just isn't that interesting. Like, again, stuff like Tokyo Ghoul or the shows like Parasite do the whole dismemberment, but the show is already good by that point. The show is boring, and when that happened, I just cared even less.
One thing I will say that I really hate about this show, that really kind of was like, every episode was like, oh, fuck, here we go. But, like, that intro is so fucking bad.
I'll probably skip it every time. So.
And then I'm letting you know right now, that intro had me pulling out some fucking glow sticks.
No, and it's fine, right? Until you get to like minute 3, and he's still going.
Man, okay.
Right, here's the secret about EDM. Minute 3 does not exist. You're supposed to be on ecstasy. There's no such thing as minutes to that song.
No, and then the thing that sucks is like his voice. That guy talking, I don't know what the fuck his name is, going, and then I would stop, but just so you guys get the fucking point, I'm gonna do this another 20 seconds, and it keeps going, and it doesn't fucking stop, and it's like, yo, where are you?
Why'd you stop? I was jamming.
Because
Nick, this is what you do, man. Fight whoever you're watching it with, but skip the fucking intro. And I don't care who's calling me out. if you're gonna watch a show for more than episodes in a row, skip the fucking intro, because once you've seen it once, you don't need to see it fucking.
Or you can be cool and respect the art and the actual work people
I
did.
did. I watched
to give
it
you an
once.
intro.
No,
That
sometimes
they
it's-
put money
Why
in to
watch the
show
same
you more
intro?
than one episode.
No, but
the
something's
fuck?
changed though per season, or even sometimes episodes. Like, I hate to bring this up again. Sorry, people, it's my favorite fucking show. Okay, but The Walking Dead. Like, they
Yeah,
change
and I
the
skip
intro.
the intro every fucking time.
Sometimes there's cool little things that they add in there. It's like, oh, see this? Like, we changed something, you know?
Yeah, but that's minutes though. Like that intro's like what, a minute? That's a minute of a show I could be watching.
You know what? It adds up. I'll say after a whole 16 episode fucking season, that's 60 minutes just wasted on
Yeah,
the
it's
intro.
half an episode.
I get that. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just like this intro. And plus, like God just said, art-wise, sometimes with animes. And by the way, like, I watched the Death Note intro every time and did not complain once because that shit was fucking beautiful.
I skipped the intro except for when I was forced to watch The Crown with Allie, and she hates when I do it. I skipped the intro to every single show I've ever watched ever. Game of Thrones, Stranger Things, Devilman. If I ever watched more than one episode. Some of the other stuff like we would watch. Like to me, or it says even Black Mirror. Black Mirror doesn't have a fucking intro. It's image and that's it. No intro. So it's like I can't skip something that doesn't exist. Or Castlevania. Castlevania doesn't really have an intro.
Those are intros. They're just short intros. I mean, and that's the trend nowadays is that people want just, okay, we see the title. There we go. We're done.
Yeah, just get me to the fucking show. I don't give a shit that, you spent, oh man, he spent all this time making this music and this art for a show. I don't give a fuck. I want to watch the show. I don't want to watch you having a bunch of montages at the start of the fucking episode.
Yeah. I mean, and I understand that, but I just feel like, if I was skipping that, then in Transformers 5, I would have skipped the dialogue. Like, I don't like to skip anything. It was made this particular way, so if I review it or if I'm going to judge on something, I need to judge it for what it is. And I can't pick and choose what I want to talk about. You know what I mean? So it's like, it is one of those things. But I totally see your point, though. If it was me just telling myself...
Max inside the YouTube chat room. Dios mío. Again with the Walking Dead. All right,
Walking Dead, no!
Speaking of Ayo Dios mío.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. That was a great segue. I wish you would say that shit, but no. But really quick, just ratings wise, because how many episodes did you guys watch?
Honestly, we watched one and that was a struggle.
Okay, and I mean, and you won as well, right, Gandhi?
I only watched one, and like maybe not even one, a quarter of the episode. I came in like halfway, like 20 minutes into
And that
it.
ending didn't want to make you come back?
Not really. I was like, okay, this is gonna be one of those crazy ass animes that don't explain shit until like that last to like 4 episodes, and then I just gotta believe that it's either a government conspiracy or the devil.
Or
Chris
both.
Brown in the chat, he goes, Nick saying the intro was like Super Mario Goomba sucking someone off.
Oh,
That took me a second. What the fuck?
It's me coming in your mouth. But anyways, sorry about that.
Yeah, I just realized I kind of got Mario's home.
You do. You got Mario's face.
I'm a product of Nintendo, and I can only be used as a mascot to make profit because they don't make original content. Oh.
This
Right,
show, I'm gonna totally give. You can't rent it, obviously, it's on fucking Netflix. But it's like, if you could, this is worth watching. This is worth you spending just a tiny little bit of money to watch this entire thing. It's fucking fun. I'm not gonna watch it again. So not gonna watch it again.
Yeah.
But it's better than most things that you can stream. And I love that. And I feel like if it wasn't for the intro, if it wasn't for because here's the thing too, it's so unpredictable. That's one thing to tell you guys right now as well. Is this show, and JP said this in the chat, Zone Blade. He was like, "Yo, that intro's depressing as fuck." Oh my god, people, you have no idea how fucking depressing it is. I've seen some horrible things happen on The Walking Dead. It ain't shit compared to Devilman Crybaby. There are some things that happen in here. I'm like, did you fucking do that? Like, I don't even know what to say. I can't. Like, I'm hoping this is a dream sequence. Like,
Right.
It's fucking crazy, and they have some balls beyond balls, and like shit like that. When I'm trying to predict you because you're an anime and you look kind of generic to me, and I'm like trying to be a dick, like, oh, I bet there's a part where they do this. Oh, I bet there's a part where they do that, and I was wrong every time. Fuck yeah, I love to be wrong with this shit. That means you're good. I like you, show. Fuck yeah, rent it now. God damn it. Anyways, and Ganja, like, what would you give it, bro?
From what I got out of like, see this thing, I feel kind of disingenuous using one of your favorite words to if I would give it a rating because I only saw one episode, and I kind of have a strict rule. I know Alan doesn't like it, but I feel like you should watch the whole series before you can actually give it an actual opinion because you don't know what the final season could be like. Hell, my best example is Black Mirror. From what I'm hearing, not to spoil it for you, Alan, but there might be things that actually make sense at the end that are being called back, and if you don't finish it, you're not gonna get that big finale at the end.
Yeah, that one episode can change your entire rating. Most
Yep.
likely.
I'm sorry, but and I don't know if Ganja, if you finished with your rating or not, or if
I
if
didn't
you
give it. I didn't give a rating because I only watched one episode.
Okay, I wholeheartedly disagree with that. I feel that, and there's even been times where I've changed my opinion because of the fact that I've gone midway. But honestly, if you're not getting me within the first couple of episodes, if you're not getting me even within the first one, and I have no inclination, you failed. I don't care how good your third or fourth or eighth or ninth or 100th episode is. I need to be hooked episode 1. Naruto, I've watched 700 episodes that I was hooked episode 1. What you call it? Fullmetal Alchemist. I know you're not a huge fan of that yet, Nick, but got me episode 1. Steins Gate, I fucking love the shit out of that. Got me episode 1. Something like Dead Space, it didn't get me till hour 4, but I was ready to hate that game. And yes, I did change my opinion, but at the end of it, something should get you within the first. There should be a reason for you to continue, even if you don't love it right away.
Mm-hmm.
And if it does it fails. And unfortunately, this show fails. And to me, it's not bad enough. Like, there's nothing bad about it. It's just really boring and uninteresting. So I had to give it an avoid it because you're really not gonna lose anything if you avoid it. It's not mad enough. I wasn't mad walking out of it. I just turned to 90s and go, I don't want to do this again, man. You want to? He's like, nah.
Wow, and even 90s said no. 90s, I was thinking highly of you, bro. Why the fuck didn't you watch it?
He just didn't feel it either way. Like, he heard the whole thing of everyone loving it. That's why we watched it, and we both just kind of walked out of it and said, meh, let's do something else.
I was the only one that came out hyped, and that was because of Pussy Monsters.
Yeah, I again, like I said, I don't honestly. I think you can within an episode or two determine if you're going to continue because it has to grip you in some way. You should not be forced to watch something. It's like it's like Nick made this perfect fucking example the other night. It is like a pizza. If you eat one bite of a pizza and it tastes like shit, no one's going to tell you eat the entire fucking pizza.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. What TV shows they kind of build up, so I kind of agree with Tay in the chat room right now. I believe you, Tay, baby. She says you need to follow the rule of 3. It's the opposite of Star Wars. You need to have an extra one.
Yeah, fuck that shit, man. You need to honestly, it needs to give you a reason to follow the rule of 3.
Yeah, and would you say,
I
Justin?
mean, there's a few exceptions every now and then. Like Parks and Rec had a terrible first season, but it became a better show in its second and third season.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't find itself. Workaholics is another version of that, I feel like. And Walking Dead's a version of that, too. You can't tell me that those first 3 episodes were anywhere
What are you talking about? The first episode of The Walking Dead is one of the best ones.
Ooh,
yeah,
that shit
I
was
agree.
boring as fuck. That was 28 days later, but slowed down to like a
I've
third.
never seen 28 Days Later. 28 Days Later is pretty slow. I don't know how you could slow that down.
You saw 28 Days Later. So.
Yeah,
Well,
at the
yeah.
time I didn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but yes, it's like, the comic is the same way, too. So comic ripped off 20 Days Later as well.
Yeah, and the comic is also boring. I'm sorry, I'm not a big fan of the Walking Dead comic.
How are you a big fan of The Walking Dead?
I'm with Max again, man. Adios mio, The Walking Dead again.
I'm sorry. The Walking Dead.
Talk season 2,
It's the only
no page might save me.
No, shut the fuck up. Stop acting like my fucking auntie. No, the thing is,
Somebody in the name of the Holy Water, Jesus Christ, oh Jesus Christ.
oh, look at the tortilla ganja. It's Virgin Mary.
Ayúdame.
Ayúdame, Lord, ayúdame.
Which is one of the things one Mexicans were saying.
I'm glad you brought that up, Justin, because my mom was fucking me because I was like, I'm going to go to Spain and go check it out. She's like, you don't know a word of Spanish. What Spanish do you know? I was like, I know the 2 most important words in Spanish, ayúdame and americano. That will get me far.
Help, American! Help, American! The question then is that, do you need help from Americans or you're American so you need help?
They'll come check just because the broken English will confuse them.
No, but Justin, you've been watching something recently, you said, right?
Yes, I actually caught 2 movies earlier this week. So,
all right, what's that first one?
Oh, the first one is I, Tonya, the newest film that came out from Craig. Yes. So this is the one from Craig Gillespie, who did Lars and the Real Girl many years ago.
Right.
And then he also did the Fright Night remake, which actually I kind of like that one. But anyways, this is, as you can kind of imply from the trailer here, it's Tanya Harding, the infamous Olympic skater, and all those stuff went on with her family, her crazy husband, and his even crazier best friend, and everything that led to the incident with Nancy Kerrigan. And what's interesting about it is it kind of has this very, for anyone seen The Big Short, it's kind of that kind of style of storytelling where it's doing like a weird cutaway interview documentary drama kind of thing. And sometimes during the middle of a scene, they'll look to the camera and go, no, this scene didn't happen this way, but we kind of wished it did. Or, or they'll tell you well, this is what I was thinking during the time, but I couldn't say anything when I was there. And it's interesting. It's a different approach. And the problem is that there's so much mystery still to this whole thing that there's no definitive answers other than some of the things that they cleared up for sure. It's like, okay, look, Tonya Harding didn't actually hurt Nancy Kerrigan directly, and we can't directly say, yes, she called for this thing to happen, but she's complicit to some degree. How much is debatable, but in some way she's involved.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's a really breezy, fun, entertaining movie, and it's a comedy, but not in the way that you laugh because it's funny. You laugh because you're just in shock most of the time at how
Like, these people are
horrible.
fucking nuts. You know?
Oh my gosh. Freaking, what's
dude.
her name? Allison Janney as the mom. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ganja.
No, I was gonna say that give you an extreme example of what you're talking about. The scene where they're talking about how their relationship is becoming more and more abusive, and it's all kind of play for laughs. She's like, and that's the first time he hit me, and then it cuts to, and that was the first time I pulled a gun on him.
Yeah.
You're supposed to feel bad because she's being domestically abused, but the way they shoot it's like first she's getting hit in the wall, and then it just turns over. And the dude's running through the house, and she has a shotgun, and she shoots the wall out. And it's such a good camera trick that it takes you from being like, oh my god, that is a fucked up situation, like, oh my gosh, you're gonna kill him, get him, girl, get him.
Oh no, I'm telling you, I love this fucking movie, dude. Like it was close to being one of my top like 15 favorite fucking movies like of this year. And yeah, man, like one thing I really like what Justin was saying too is, and plus too, there's a lot of fast editing. The music's playing and it's just going like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Where there's parts where they'll be talking about like their current present day reactions to shit that happened back in the day, the story that they just told. So it'll be like, you know, like all this crazy shit's happening, and it goes to like, you know, Tonya Harding's or the Tonya Harding character, and she's like, yeah, you know, that was a really bad day. And it goes to the guy, he's like, I don't know what the fuck her problem was. Like, it just goes back and forth. I'm like, dude, I love that shit. I do
got one thing to point out about Margot Robbie. I don't think I ever seen a movie besides Suicide Squad, because that was a PG-13 rating, where she doesn't get fucked.
That's true.
I don't know if that's just her gimmick now. There's like, she's become one of the, ever since, you know, Wolf of Wall Street, and everyone got to see her in that sexy position. It's like, all right, you got to do one sex scene. I know Tonya Figure Skating has nothing to do with penetration.
I want to fuck Killer Croc.
Well, to be fair, she produced this movie too, so maybe that was her decision. I don't know.
That's even kinkier.
I like that. And I probably like that dude. Like, no, Tonya Harding got fucked. No, we meant like in a different way, sweetheart. No, just let him fuck me.
No, but I agree with Adrian too. I think Allison Janney might win Best Supporting Actress this year because she is so, like, every single thing that comes out of this woman's mouth is hilarious and disgustingly awful. Like every time. But seriously, there's not a single moment. Like, there's a moment where they trick you into thinking she's gonna say something nice, and then they pull it on you. It's like, oh no, this is what was actually happening in that scene. And you're just like, oh, gee, single worst human being in the world. It's amazing.
And her character is so fucking entertaining, though. I love, like, sometimes she says shit that I'm like, okay, I love this woman, but she's so shitty that it's like, I can't. I like her no matter what. But man, like I cannot wait. I was like, man, Margot Robbie, please knock her the fuck out. Like, please, something happen to this fucking bitch.
Right.
Like, oh, I loved it, dude. But go ahead though, Justin. I'm sorry, man.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm glad you guys saw this movie too. So it wasn't just me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, this movie is great. Every actor in here is great. Margot Robbie, like I really liked Allison Janney, and even Sebastian Stan I thought was really good in this as the husband. But Margot Robbie owned this movie. Like I'm amazed. This is probably her best performance ever in anything. She's just that good.
Man.
And they even found a way to like dress her down and make up her to make her look more homely. Like she looks like, you know, kind of a pretty redneck trashy girl. You know, it's like, yeah, you know, Sebastian Stan probably saw her as pretty when he first met her, but you know, she looks homely to anyone else. And to make Margot Robbie look that way is pretty impressive, you know?
Yeah, she's all right. I never understood people's love affair with Margot Robbie. She's all right.
She's pretty. I don't know.
No,
she's all right, man.
I don't know why. I just picture you brushing her hair like a horse. She's pretty, girl. What are you talking about?
Daisy looking over at his monument to Margot Robbie, going, "I still love you."
But yo,
Alan, what are you doing in my room? How do you know?
Ever since you came over, we have a connection now. Of course.
AKA, he planted you with something, Justin.
Chris Brown, that is a great idea. The mom for supporting extras from I, Tonya, and for best
3
actress.
billboards.
3 billboards, because that
Yes.
bitch was amazing.
I believe it. I mean, you know, plugging in my podcast, and we're going to talk about that tomorrow.
Plug.
Yeah, but this movie's great. I really don't have many issues with it, other than I mean, I see what people complain about with the visual effects, that they weren't great, but it's clearly a very cheap movie, like very small budget. So I wasn't, yeah.
We're
As
quick
long
to
as you
harp
keep my
on that. It's
attention.
like, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it was fine. Like, I if it was a bigger movie with bigger money, then I would complain about it. But I'm like, look, this movie probably cost like 10, 20, maybe $30 million. You know, to get what they did was still good, and to get a big star like Margot Robbie, who commands a pretty high price. You know.
Yeah, and something like this, by the way, too, because I've been the whole time I was watching this, because we were talking about Margot Robbie, and I liked her so much. Please tell me why they didn't have her instead of fucking Jennifer Lawrence and Joy. Like, I don't know why, but the whole movie I was like, yo, like Margot Robbie should have
Oh,
been Joy.
you're confusing this with Joy?
No, like I want her to be on Joy, because like this, and you've been talking shit too, by the way, fucking Alan, about Jennifer Lawrence. Like, you don't like her
I want
mother.
to see Joy, but I heard Joy was crap, and it's like the long list of Jennifer Lawrence's fucking shitty career.
I think Joy had more problems than just Jennifer Lawrence, which she got an Oscar nomination for that role, but it's like, yeah, it's the only thing people cared about in that movie.
Yeah, because JZ, you fucking missed the thunderstorm that was us reviewing Mother last week.
Mother.
Yeah, Alan was wrong as usual.
Yeah, I'm glad I missed it.
Wait, have you seen Mother, by the way?
No, I haven't yet. I really want
Never
to
watch it.
Justin, please.
Never.
You know, that's the thing. It's like this is one of those cases. I know, Nick, you harp on me for not watching movies I talk about sometimes. I do want to watch it though, because Alan, you saying no is not going to stop me. You know that, right?
Okay, I'll spoil. Oh, I can't spoil the fucking. Damn,
No,
I'll
don't-
ruin it for you now.
Don't you spoil the gosh dang. I mean, I even know
Hey.
a bunch of stuff about the whole biblical allegory. So I'm curious to see how that applies. I mean, it's Darren Aronofsky. He made Noah, which is the most.
That
and
was a
least
much more straightforward movie than this bullshit.
No, I'm just saying, when it comes to biblical, I know the bar I'm meeting now with Darren Aronofsky. It's like, okay, biblical means kind of religious, but mostly fantasy. Sure, okay.
Yeah,
That's
it's a template,
pretty
or
much.
like a reason to continue on. In
God exists somewhere in this world. It's about as religious as we get. But
but with I, Tanya, though,
and-
yeah.
yeah. All right, Tanya, I give it a buy it, man. I think this movie is great. It's much more dramatic than I thought it was, because people are hyping like, oh, it's the most hilarious movie. It's like, yeah, it's really funny until you get to the really dramatic parts. You're like, oh, shoot. And this guy, that fat dude, the best friend,
Oh,
I'm surprised no one socked him in his fat freaking face, because he is the most insane, crazy, worst friend you could ever have in anything. And he's hilarious. But every time I'm just like, kill this dude, man.
I thought it was
This
Danny
guy-
McBride this whole time, by the way. Like, I was like, oh, they put some fat things on Danny McBride. God, that's what I thought it was. Like,
Yeah, I love that the actor really resembles the fucking dude in real life. When they're actually showing them.
eerily so. Yeah, he looks just like him.
yeah, man. I wish. Well, what's his name, by the way? Do you guys remember the guys?
Fat fuck Bob, I fuck up the mission.
Wait,
What?
shut up.
What?
Fat
What?
fuck Bob, that fucks up the mission. That's what I call him.
That's probably not his actual name.
Close enough. I don't remember his name. I'm just like, sure. That
Hey,
fat-
I got this ingenious idea. Let's lock her kneecap out. We pulled it off. We actually can get away. Nah, my guys that I hired walked through there with
no,
the trade
that's-
code.
that's not his actual
Yeah,
name.
I
Nick.
love
Don't worry.
Bring back.
Wait,
Bob
fat fuck
fucked up
is-
lyrics.
Fat fuck is from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Oh, I love it. No, but yeah, you saying to buy it though, dude, I'm totally with you on that. Like, that shit was amazing. But yeah, and really quick too, like, Ganja, what'd you feel about it, or what would you rate it?
When I saw I, Tanya, I pretty much agree with all y'all statements, and I think I actually added to one of my was it the best of list? I think, yeah, it was my best of list. So honestly, I say fucking buy it or rent it. Like, it's definitely worth your time to check out. Now, if you want to own the copy, that's debatable, but you should definitely make some time to watch it. Pirate it.
Oh, I'm gonna
No.
own it. I'm gonna own it. I do that.
We gotta
so.
stop advocating piracy on this show.
Yeah.
Not until they bring back
As a-
net neutrality. When you took net neutrality from me, you took my right of paying $12 for Netflix.
Now, Ganja, here we go. As the guy who actually does buy almost every single one of his movies
For some fucking
physically, a couple digital, I advocate go buy the Blu-ray when it comes out. There
Yeah,
you go.
and I completely agree with Justin. This is a great fucking movie, and for what they did with the budget that they had, and yes, everyone makes fun of the whole CGI, Margot Robbie's face, blah blah blah. I mean, sorry, that's not fucking like Transformers, some shit. Like, you know what I mean? It's fucking I, Tanya. Like, you know, what are you expecting? And that shit was cool. I love that. I love the character development in the movie. I say it's a fucking buy it. I mean, there's even a part in here that's just, it's so intense and yet so funny in certain scenes. There's even a part where like he talks to that fat fuck dude that we were discussing earlier, and he's inside
Fat fuck
the
Bob, that fucked up the mission.
Yep, exactly. That's quite. I'm gonna find a way. Like, we need Sinebo. Like, you know, you like make initials with the whole fucking thing. But the thing is, there's a part in the movie though where he's like at a diner with them. He's basically telling them like, "Hey man, like you fucking piece of shit, fat fuck. I'm gonna fuck you up when I get a chance, you motherfucker." And watching that, I was like, dude, this became like fucking a mob movie, like Goodfellas or something. And in the trailer, they know what they were doing because in the trailer it says this is a Goodfellas of figure skating. And I was like, oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what the fuck does that mean?
No, seriously, like they borrow so much stylistically from Goodfellas in this movie. It's like, yeah, of course they're gonna make Goodfellas comparison. Like the
Especially
camera
that
panning,
scene, where she's breaking her ankle because that was a lot of people. The rumor was Tanya Harding that actually physically did it to her, and they actually touch upon that where they show Margot Robbie just breaking the bitch's ankle, and she turns around. Some people actually think I did this shit.
That's fucking funny.
No,
but the second movie I want to talk about. I mean, I can be quick about this too. If you want.
yeah, what's up?
Paddington 2. I went to go see this thing.
Ganja called it Paddleton.
Paddington 2. 50 Shades Paddle. I don't know. But,
no. But yeah, go ahead, man.
This movie's amazing. I have nothing else I can really say other than this movie's great. Like, seriously. Okay, let me just say this. You know, we watched this last week on Netflix, and it was it's charming, it's funny, it's very amusing. I mean, I think so, definitely. The second movie, it's maybe not as funny, like quotients of jokes compared to the first film, but it's so much more heartfelt. Like this movie,
this right here
really just gets.
By the way.
Oh yeah, no, this sequence is the best visual sequence. Like when they go into the story,
the aunt comes back. I'm so glad because this might be a spoiler alert. When we all watched the original Paddington on the Rabbit, we all took bets. You're like, how much I want to bet she did? And everybody was like, that bitch is dead.
Dead like a Disney parent.
There's it's called A Paradise Where Older Bears Go, Nick. Like that can't be more of a euphemism for heaven than I don't fucking know. And they literally show her writing a letter from where the bears retire. So
the home for retired bears.
Whole time.
I like how his face is like, oh my gosh, he's dead. This shit's fucked up. Like, what were you saying, Alan?
Is he still a fucking like massive threat to national security like he was in the first one? Okay.
No, so much so in fact that there's a whole plot. I mean, because the plot this time is where he wants to buy a gift for his aunt, and because he's a bear.
Not again! They did the same joke again.
They at least did more with it. I mean, there's a couple jokes they repeat, but they did twist on them. But the whole thing, he wants to buy a gift for his aunt because he's like, well, I can't bring her to London because I'm poor, but I could get her a pop-up book of London that shows all this cool sights. And it just so happens this thing is a rare collector's item that's being coveted by freaking Hugh Grant, who's the villain in this movie.
What?
Yeah, Hugh Grant as an actor with the craziest level of schizophrenia ever in this
Hugh Grant.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Oh, I tell you, Ganja, he is hilarious in this movie. But I will not say
I don't doubt it. He's either hit or miss, and when he hits, it's fucking great to see him.
He is great. And the whole thing is that he stages Paddington for a crime that gets Paddington sent to jail. So half of this movie is a prison movie, but with Paddington flavored on it.
So it turns from Paddington Bear to Shawshank Redemption.
It pretty much turns into Grand Budapest Hotel. You know, like when that guy goes to jail there.
I did not know what to think when I saw Paddington walk through that door.
If Morgan Freeman had been in this movie, that would have been even better.
He was a short drink of bear water. I knew this prison wasn't eat him alive.
It turns out afterwards he broke.
Oh, dude, that's Freckle from narrating. This is awesome.
Yeah, this motherfucker's like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Oh, man. No, but there's just so much good in this movie. It's still very sharply written. They give every character something to do in this movie, which I love. When it's like, yeah, you have a huge ensemble cast, and there's not a wasted minute with any of them. You know,
how much murder? How much actual murder is in this movie?
None.
Really? There's an active murder in the first one. Like,
well, okay, it's not murder. There's a guy who dies in the beginning, yes, but
no, there's active murder. They have that dude tied up. They straight cut him.
That guy.
That scene. So for y'all don't know the first one, there's this scene where Nicole Kidman, is it, or whatever the hell her name is? Her character goes and kidnaps his cab driver, has him strung up with his hands behind his back, his legs tied up upside down, and God's like, man, he better waterboard. I'm like, no, that's a murder fucking hang. You only hang someone like that when you're about to slit their throat and murder.
And I asked you, how many times have you been to London without telling us?
Yeah, no shit, dude.
Yeah,
so
but
the scene ends with her cutting the rope and his ass falling into the water, and I turn to the fucking rapper and go, yo, man, he ain't swimming, man, he dead.
Well, okay, so there's no murder in this, but Brendan Gleeson is the head prisoner at the jail, and they imply very heavily that he went to jail for some cold-blooded murder somewhere in his life.
I love that. This is like this kid's
There's,
show.
there's a good, it's like, you're really good with that knife. How'd you learn how to chop like that? It's like, oh, you don't even know. You're like,
Let's just say, laddie, that I'm mad that the IRA did not win.
Dude, I would have loved that joke because kids like, what? Like, could you imagine, Daddy? What's the IRA? Nothing.
I'll tell you later. No, this movie is awesome. It's funny. It's charming. It's really, really solid. And I wrote a big, very emphatic Facebook post about this. Paddington is one of those rare kids movies or family-friendly films. It's not insulting to any group. It's not too dark for kids. It's not too immature for adults. It really is the perfect kids movie that anybody, any age can watch it and find something to like about it. And maybe even multiple things, And it's really just because Paddington is the most lovable, likable character you could ever meet in a movie. He's so sweet. And yes, there we go. There's my post right there.
No, well, I just want to show it so people are just so they can read it along with you. Because, I was curious as to what you're saying as well. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, basically what I was saying is just like, like the beginning there. You're never going to be too old or too grown up to watch Paddington and like it. Unless you're just a cynical, heartless a-hole. If you go in one...
like that.
Shut up. Whoop, what? Wrong one.
I think you could like it. I think, because Nick, I know you only watched a little bit of Paddington when we watched it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just a tiny little bit, like 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, I think you would enjoy it if, it's a good feel-good movie. Like, you watch it, you feel fuzzy inside, warm and fuzzy like a bear even. But,
Whoa!
I just thought of that, too.
I know you did.
Honestly, dude, I've been trying to get better at my dad jokes, and they are so fucking mean to me. Like, I'm just saying, like, I've been trying hard.
We're mean to you, bitch. You're mean to us, telling us those jokes.
You're gonna get got to me fighting at one point. Just because your shitty jokes.
But
no, this movie's great, and Hugh Grant will make you laugh super hard when you meet him because he's a crazy actor. The idea where it's like, oh yeah, he lives in all of his parts simultaneously as each other, and he like has conversations with himself in character. It's just, I won't say any of his jokes; they're really, really good when you see them. But buy it, go buy it. This is one of those rare cases, a 5 out of 5 movie for me. I thought it was fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah, man. So. No, that's badass. And but yeah, I know you actually said that you're going to review Black Lightning, correct?
Yeah, I know we wanted to do something else, but I wanted to just do it quick because I know the chat was actually a bunch of people were popping off about Black Lightning, and I got a chance to watch it because I'm a huge fan of the CW superhero shows. They're basically my weekly shows, and I fucking love them. I've seen all of them. I'm caught up on everything. Man, they're basically my weekly stories. Like, hey, don't bother Daddy right now, Penelope. I gotta watch my shows. Like, when I heard of Black Lightning, I immediately was like, I'm already gonna watch it because it's a CW superhero show, and I love all of them. So I didn't watch any
all
material. I've seen every single one. So as soon as they announced it, I was like, just give me a release date. Release date's now. Okay, let me watch it. And immediately, I just kind of fell in love with this idea that. Usually what they do with a lot of the superhero shows, like, oh, let's do the year one. They're teenagers. They just got their powers. They're going to do some stuff. But what I loved immediately is that this guy is retired, which means he did his 20 years as a superhero, and now he's living a normal life. He has a family. He has a job. And you can see that where it's like he's still trying to help out his people. And the one thing I love about the show is very Black-centric, but it never pulls any punches. Because you see in a lot of shows where like, oh man, we got to be Black-centric, but we can't show how bad things can actually be. What I liked about the show is it does show how fucked up it could be. Like one of the first thing the cops just fucks with him, and he's like, man, this is the 3rd time this month. What's going on? And the cop barely tells him anything, and it turns out some woman got her liquor store robbed, and he just saw the guy there and said, fuck it, I'm gonna fuck with him. And you're immediately like, man, God fucking damn it. The show isn't sitting there trying to sugarcoat it. Not trying to make it like, oh no, some of the cops are like, no. Every cop you fucking see is a fucking piece of shit. So the first time the first time the hero basically fucks with the police, you're almost kind of cheering along because you just see the actors able to show like how fed up he is. And you just kind of see how fed up the people are with all this gang stuff, the police not doing anything, and why he kind of comes out of hiding because it's like, why he comes out of hiding, or not hiding per se, but like why he comes out of retirement makes so much sense. Because it's like, yeah, his daughters are being engulfed in this, and he's trying his best to keep his family out of it, but just the gang life just comes right in and snatches it up literally. And he's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm coming out of retirement, I'm going to beat the crap out of all these people. And I loved it from start to finish. I can't wait to see what more they're doing.
Yeah,
and
man,
this is how a show works, guys. you can have a good episode, a first good episode that nails you in and continues to watching it on. No rule of 3 with Black Lightning right off the bat.
I've heard great things about this show, so I'm really excited. You're telling me so far.
The only thing I don't like is they show kind of the past costume, and it was like, more of the spandex, the leather, and I thought that looked really cool. I figured that was a costume, but they do an updated costume, and it just looks cheap and plasticky. That's really the only thing I'm like. Your powers are cool. You use your powers in a cool way, man, but your outfit looks cheap as shit, man. Looks like you got it from a dollar store. That's probably the only thing I don't like about the show, and it's not like a big thing, but I'm like, man, your costume looks like shit.
Yeah, I'm looking over here too, man. He looks like a neon, like, I don't know, strippergram dude. Like, I don't know, that looks fucking silly. But I mean,
Who's sending you a strippergram?
6'5", sexy and black. It's the lightning.
Black Lightning for all you white Krugers out there. Like, yeah, man. Like for me, I want to see this so fucking bad. I watched a little bit of this and then I stopped because I was like, I need to watch this with somebody. Like, I need to have more people with me.
Yeah, I'll watch it with you. I'll watch this again, 100%.
I'll watch it with you guys too. I totally want to, and I want to see Black Lightning fight White Power. See who's leading.
Yeah. Oh shit.
And they basically kind of do that, but they don't do it like what you think. Like, oh, it's some businessman in some business office because he's businessy and white. Like, they basically kind of show that it's just like he's fighting criminality, and it comes in multiple different forms, and you get to kind of see that. Like, they do have the villain, and he is kind of he's not like this big white businessman. He is white, but it's like in a sense of like he's just a criminal that just got high up, and it's just he's just fighting off criminality. Ooh. It doesn't feel the need of like, oh, let's just do it against businessman because that's the easy villain. It's like, no, this is still criminal underworld that he's fighting off and dealing with. And I like that it shows that he has a lot to fight for. Like, he's not just saying like, oh, I'm just fighting for my family. He has like he's fighting for his school. He's fighting for his community, and it's like I really like that because it shows a lot of motivation for him to do his job properly.
I think he's not only fighting crime, but he's fighting off fashion sense because that shit is fucking ridiculous. Now I see the point.
It's it's so hard. It's so hard to look past it because like I see Arrow's costume, and I'm like, man, that looks fucking cool. That looks almost like a military outfit. The hood, the green, it looks perfect. I see the Flash's outfit. I'm like, oh man, you're going back to the golden age. You're making it look iconic because he's always about like showing off, and it's always about people noticing. So the iconicness. And then I look at your costume, I'm like, man, can you no?
Maybe it's like the bridge between the old costume that he had and then like the new one. Maybe
it is, but it's like I think the old costume is so much better.
That makes sense. I mean, I don't know, but people, that's definitely gonna be. Oh wait, I didn't even. What would you rate it actually? This one episode.
Honestly, right now, like I would honestly go like as high as you can. Like it is a great first episode, so buy it. Like as like in the closest thing. Like I don't know if they're gonna do it on Netflix, but honestly, go out of your way and watch it. Like this is something you really need to go and watch because it doesn't require you to know the other CW shows because it's standing on its own for now. And honestly, it's a lot of fucking fun. Like if you wanted Luke Cage, like if you wanted the iconic black superhero, but actually a good show, right off the bat, this will fucking get you.
Yeah, man. So I'm hyped to see this. Really, I am. But the thing is, I'm hyped to see what y'all are going to be doing. And that after hours, son, Alan, why don't you tell them what's on the docket if you can, sir?
Well, we have a shop poll ready, but because of how YouTube works, we haven't been posting it there. But we'll basically post it when we get the rabbit going. But basically, we're just kind of doing a cleanup of some of the essentially movies that no one's really ever heard of from last year. Like I've always wanted to watch Bright, and I think it's better. I think it's one of those movies where you kind of need to watch it with a group of people just to make a joke out of it. I hear good things from Mayhem. I know Ganja want to check it out. And honestly, this is gonna be a new staple. Every single poll from now on, whatever theme we're doing, is gonna have something called fan choice. Because some of the best movies, 50 Shades of Grey, Paddington 2, we had the best moment because someone said, "Fuck it, let's just watch it." No theme, no nothing. Someone just like, "Hey, let's watch it." So honestly, I don't want to miss any more of those opportunities. So every single choice can be fan choice. So if someone's like, "Hey, let's watch this movie," we'll watch it out. If it sucks, it's on you. But everyone's gonna get a choice now.
Yeah, no, I like the idea quite a bit. But people, as you see, we're back to the blue, yo. And I gotta say, man, I had fun with tonight and everything. But we start again, fucking Monday. Ringside Hangout, WWE Raw. We're doing that shit again. The 25th anniversary. And to bring this up to you guys right now, I'm probably gonna be starting a rabbit on Monday for wrestling. I know we've never done it before, and I never host them because that's usually Alan and Ganja's thing. But if you want to watch wrestling, if you don't like wrestling, and you want to watch it with people because you don't know where to start with us. Start with me. It's going to be on Monday. I'm starting that shit. And it'll be cool. And then if I forget or something comes up, then you don't have to watch it or whatever the fuck. But we will be doing the show. It's gonna be a really, really big one. So definitely come down and hang out with us. Talk shit about wrestling. I don't give a fuck what you do, but give us some shit on Ringside Hangout. Yeah, that'd be awesome if you're there too. It's a really, really big show, so I cannot fucking wait. But aside from that, Ganja Guru, what'd you tell them about that Facebook page, sir?
Yes, sir. We got that Midnight Chat Attack, beautiful Facebook page where you guys can get in touch with us. All of us, including Allie, Alan, me, and Nick, all in one place by hitting us inside the DM box. If you guys got questions, if you guys got comments, gifts, memes, make sure to post that onto the page so we can see them, give them a like, and share them with other Toasties and Midnight Chat Attackers. Also, we also do the Untitled Video Game Show, where me and Alan play some dumb video games and entertain you guys with some also dumb video game news that we come across. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's a good game like Fable being developed that's going to be better.
Oh, Lord.
And you can suck me off, Alan, if you don't believe that. But make sure to come by the Facebook page because we'll love to see you guys there.
I was like, what?
Fuck that game.
I think suck my dick is more aggressive, but suck me off just.
It's more British.
Yeah, suck me off is almost like,
it's not.
I guess I will to help you out, buddy.
It reminds you of a Goomba that's just sucking dick, just going.
Oh, that is a weird way to end tonight's show. But yeah, people, thank you very much for watching, all that good jazz. But hey, man, it's time for that call, son, on the 1, 2, and then that 3 Ganja Guru. Why can't I find it? Ganja, keep going. What the fuck happened?
What's your lovely?